Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Call of Duty Challenges Elite. We are in Stage 2 and we are now jumping into our North American region. Of course, my name is Bryce. Joining me here, my colleagues once again, Tan and Ellen. Ellen, how are you?
I'm feeling pretty good, Bryce. The competition is definitely fierce on the NA side of the Elite Series, so I'm really excited to see the conclusion, and overall, just feeling really good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I am looking forward to it as well. Tan, how are you feeling? I know you've struggled with the late nights in the past.
I'm fine and dandy, Brycey. There's not a multiple amount of different energy drinks in front of me at all. I promise you. No, I'm actually, you know what? No, I don't touch wood. Not too soon. I'm all right. I'm doing okay.
Well, hopefully the awesome Call of Duty gameplay we are about to bear witness to will give you more than enough energy. Of course, if you are joining us here, this is pretty much how it's gone down so far in our knockout bracket for the North American region. Westar just took down Subliners Academy 3-0 in a little bit of an upset because Subliners were the higher ranked team during the regular season. And Built by Gamers took down the UT crew 3-0 as well. That, of course, leads into our games for this one. Westar versus Built by Gamers and Subliners Academy versus UT Crew are the two games that will be going on in just a few minutes' time. Ellen, of course, our first game winners round 2. What do we think of Built by Gamers and Westar?
You know, Wester, this team has changed rosters, obviously. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with that roster, so one of those things that I'm just kind of gonna chuck the stats out the window right here, right now. Built by Gamers has improved a lot since stage 1. I believe, I don't even think they made it this far. They ended up, what, 2-5 was it in the stage 1? So between this team and Wester obviously is a newly formed team because of Parasite and Temp, but Built by Gamers, I feel like they're gonna make a statement here because they have improved. You could see it in their stat lines, and I believe they beat Wester before. I'm not sure exactly on the roster, but I really think they're going to make a statement here, Bryce. Jumping right into this game, and here we go. Here we go.
Here we certainly go. Tan, thank you for joining us here. We are going to take this one, myself and Ellen, as we do jump straight into this raid hardpoint between these two teams. On board with Built by Gamers and GodRx, first of all, as he tries to take that gunfight top laundry.
That's right. Already GodRx too. He has been like the most consistent AR in this Elite series, and he's very good. But you know, Wester did answer back on that with the 3-piece here. Now hopping aboard with Zap. He gets taken down by Pentagram. Built by Gamers overall have control of that first hill. But take a look at that rotation to P2. You got Hamza already over there on the rotation, Bryce.
You certainly do. Another thing that's been pointed out to me as well is this is the first time we've seen the Milano. We know in the European region, a lot of the players have not been bringing out some of these guns after the patch come through, but Pentagram seems happy to give it a test. Obviously, recent buffs have brought this screaming into the meta, and bearing in mind that only happened earlier on today, so not a lot of practice time around with it, but we'll see whether or not it is going to pay out for them to change it up. Right now, Pentagram doing a pretty good job, 5-3 with it as well. The rotation has come into kitchen. They've got it pretty good in the terms of the setup here. They even have Panda sitting at Zig.
You know, it's funny that you actually did mention the Milano. I saw Thursday using it last game versus Subliners Academy, so it's pretty funny to see it in the play, but that's what happens when you have the metas changing constantly. So now, hopping on board with Zap, looks like they're actually pulling this back. Wester is spawning and still has control over this point, but you're going to slowly start to see that rotation towards P3. Built by Gamers, already set up comfortably, and you're going to start to slowly see the rotation come in from Wester. But again, Built by Gamers is already set up here on this point, not exactly pushing out, and now you actually have Kismet, who did spawn out, but you're going to slowly start to see Wester fly right on in.
Well, it looks like Parasite's going to try to go in as Pentagram gets 2. GodRx picks that one up nice and clean. All the pressure from Wester has been rebuffed. Keep an eye, though. Hamza is sitting in R at the moment, trying maybe to help his team get a little bit further forward. Actually having to track back to Pillars to find Kismet, who burns, and ruins his day. As right now, Built by Gamers are on a mission to demolish them, as they just don't seem to be able to get a toehold right into this game. Benefit being, of course, Ellen, is that after one more push in this one, if they don't make it, they could be in a good position for a rotate.
That is correct. They could be in a very good position for that. And looks like they do manage to get that scrap time there. And the rotation early comes in from Wester. So they have to hold this point. But I don't think Parasite seen Pander there. He got that kill on Zap. Now Parasite's going to go for the chase. He has to get this kill to solidify the spawn. And it looks like he did get away with his life. Kismet on the point now. Parasite just staying alive though. He did a great job staying alive back there, but overall Built by Gamers has control over this point.
Built by Gamers has control over this game. They are pretty much running away with it at the moment. You can see Parasite try and do some work into L. He's staying alive at the back as best he can. Zap is trying to get down here, backed up by Hamza as they now flood in towards it as well. Pentagram under an awful lot of pressure is going to go down. X gets 2 back, but that will not give them hill control. What might do though, keep an eye on that mini-map. There is pressure now coming in. Zaptius is going to be in so much trouble. Cannot make anything happen for them then as that hardpoint goes right back to Built by Gamers. This game is almost flying out of control for them, and even though, you know, you've got Parasite and Hamza, they're not doing too badly, but Tem and Zap really haven't been able to get a lot of playing power down as we go into this P5 rotation.
Going into this P5 rotation, it looks like they're already set up onto that new point, but Built by Gamers is doing a very good job at collapsing on these hills. So will we see that again, potentially on this tree hill here? X, nice shots onto Zap. Pentagram there to clean up the second on Parasite now. Hamza's in the point, trying to get that kill. He got that kill on Kismet with the Krieg, and Parasite there to clean up that second kill. But Built by Gamers floods into the point, has control over this hill yet again. Just like he said, they're controlling the game. The streaks are coming in from X now to get them out of that hill, and he does kill Parasite, cleaning up that time. But overall, contesting it, X is on a 10 kill streak, 12-4, Bryce. He's a madman right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much gone all the way. Eventually getting shut down by Parasite, but that's not what you want to see if you're a Wester fan. Right now, 175-46. As we go back into our next set of rotations, you can already see coming in from both sides. And right now, Hamza has a little bit of the favorite spawn. Holding that laundry here. We'll give them spawns for the next one as well. But to be perfectly honest, you're going to worry that they're not going to just lose the game before then.
That's right. Set up on this P1 hill. Hamza's holding down that laundry side, but in the middle map here, Temp solidifying that kill there on Pentagram, who's doing not a bad job right now slaying. And the streaks looks like they were coming in there on the side of X, and they did manage to get control. The trades are coming in. Hamza's still staying alive there on that laundry spawn, thinking about probably P2 hill, but he gets the kills. The trades come in. The rotations are coming in now. And overall, they do manage to get this scrap time, but they're going to have to start thinking about that rotation towards P2. And you can see Parasite's already rotating. He's going to meet probably over there with player number 4, Kismet. And 19 seconds left on the clock. Built by Gamers overall, though, managed to get this scrap time. They're looking really good right now. And Wester, if you're Wester, you have to answer back. You have to hold all of this time to potentially get back into the game.
You certainly do. It was a great amount of time for them as well. But now you can see Temp is going to be under the sword here. Already takes down Pentagram. He knows pressure's coming through the back, trying to get out of there. Backed up by his teammates at the same time. And now you know the Built by Gamers have a little bit of time to break this. West are still in a horrible position. Even with this rotation, they are so far behind. A single mistake could cost them the game. But that is all pressure been now rebuffed here. They have got control once again. Zap and Temp cleaning house. And looks like Built by Gamers are going for one last swing onto this. All flooding round, trying to get to back laundry and push this one through. Built by Gamers are now going to try and close into it as well, and it's already one gone down. X gets the first. Temp is trying to fire out at the same time, but they've cleaned it out as the kills come through. Money, and Temp gets another one here. 3 fires at the same time. He's going to eventually go down for that one, but what a hold by Wester, and now they can think about rotating.
That's correct. Built by Gamers, they do now spawn out. Now Wester, if they want to be back into this game, they have to play perfect hardpoint right here. Built by Gamers essentially could win off of scrap time. The deficit is, obviously 100 points, but if Wester manages to hold this, Temp pushing out right here at this pool side, good position to be in. You want to push them away from the hard point, so that's why he's kind of pushing out there. But if you take a look at number 4, Kismet's actually coming in through the weight side. They might solidify that push there, but Hamza there to answer back. Kismet gets a 2-piece.
Oh, no.
Shoots bodies. No! Built by Gamers definitely making a statement here.
Well, it seems like they're a little bit upset. They did almost lose 100 points unanswered, but have managed to get themselves into this one here as well. And Parasite just slaps Kismet down. And here comes the push now. Westar don't have an awful lot of time, and that's going to be 3 shut down. And now Zap just basically has to make a hero play. There's the shot punch coming in. You got to fly. You got to try and get into it somehow, some way. But with only 4 seconds left, they can't touch it even if they ran straight to the Heil. And that is going to be round 1 by Built by Gamers. They will be taking that raid hardpoint. And being perfectly clear here, that does not reflect the majority of this game. This could have ended very much having Wester in the 100 points club, but they did manage to get out of it.
That's correct. They managed to hold that kitchen hill there, and you know what? They had that early rotation, but losing those gunfights on the rotation, it could cause you essentially to spawn out. And Built by Gamers had the early rotation, they lost the spawns, and then Wester rotated over there. They had the spawns, but then they lost it and they got broke again. So they kind of traded right there on that garage hill as far as holding the spawns down. But overall, BBG, they were slaying the slaying power in terms of them. Like you said, I think Zap and Temp at one point were double negative. So being in a situation like that, it makes sense why they won, right? They're getting kills, they're slaying, they're doing everything that they need to do correctly. And Built BBG, like, I don't know, Bryce, are you surprised by that
one? I didn't think it was going to be that one-sided to begin with. Like I said, you know, Temp is obviously an incredible player. We spoke about it a long time as well, but here's the thing. Like, it just got so wildly out of control. Keep an eye on this right now. It's 162 to 46. Wester don't get any more points realistically until we get back onto P1. And already, like, this is looking at 257 games. There should be no way for them to even start thinking about coming back to this. They didn't get the rest of P1 time. They somehow then managed to hold kitchen, then get the rotation in the garage, and it was a huge fight for them just to hold this hill. Every single step they were being pushed further and further back. Realistically, Built by Gamers could have ended that several hills ago, but Westar kind of, if anything, maybe just saving face a little bit by managing to get back into that game. I would love to know why they came in so cold to that one.
Especially coming off of a hot 3-0 win against the NYSL Academy. Definitely, I would love to know as well. But you look at the squad of BBG, right? They were together season 1. They had the time to build up that chemistry, work on strats. The game meta has changed essentially, but clearly using the Milano, it's not really affecting them too much. So the ability to adapt to that and then work together, they didn't necessarily have to worry about teammate and team chemistry and all that. But for the most part, like them taking that right there, it just showed why they've been a team for a while, and overall they did a really good job.
Yeah, they certainly do. Well, let's have a little look at the maps for this series, something we didn't get to look forward before that game actually started. Of course, Raid Hardpoint is where we kick things off. Built by Gamers took that down easily, 250 to 141. Next will be Moscow Search and Destroy, then Checkmate Control, and a back-to-back checkmate as we go on to the Hardpoint in 4, and then Search and Destroy on Raid if we get that far. Ellen, I don't know if we're going to get that far. It looks like Built by Gamers have come swinging into this one with a point to prove.
That's correct. And I was trying to take a look here at the Built by Gamer stats for Moscow, and it looks like they did manage to win this map 3-1. So I'm gonna lean with you on that one as well. And just coming off a win like that, especially against a team like Wester, you know, you have two people that essentially were in the Pro League too, and just coming off of that win and from 3-0ing UT Crew, I think they're gonna carry it on too as well.
Yeah, it does seem like they're pretty much momentum's on their side at the moment. Obviously, you know, Westar, nothing to be sniffed at either, though. Of course, this is a very kind of reputable squad for a lot of people, and this is a very big matchup for them as well. That can't be really understated here. People are expecting big things from both of these teams. So to see them fall here at the very first hurdle in the winners and end up going to losers, obviously they aren't out, but this is a qualification game. If you win this, you go into playoffs, and that's basically where both teams want to be. Make sure you get in there early and then worry about the games tomorrow.
That's correct. And I was going to say too on Moscow as well, Wester, it looks like they actually are. They're both tied on this map 3-1. So it could go either way. You know, you never know. I always say it. You just never know with this game, with the meta changes, with the roster changes. It's just so unpredictable. But I don't know. It's a momentum game, right? It's a momentum game at this point. And BBG, They're leading the cake right now. They're leading the pack. They're leading the pack.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? When we go into this next one, obviously, a lot of people are going to be talking about, oh, obviously, you know, Build by Game has just completely demolished Wester in that last game. But when we move into Search and Destroy, we know how many talented North American players there are at Search and Destroy just as a game mode. And some of them are in these two teams. And I'm looking forward to see how they end up playing out, because not only have they prepared and they've already played once this season, and obviously they've all watched everything that everybody else does, but they would have scrimmed this a million times against each other anyway, even with the recent changes that have come in from both of these squads. So being perfectly honest, especially with things like the patch that has come in today, the big elephant in the room, you can't put out any kind of prediction for it with a reasonable degree of accuracy, because things have changed. Like I said, we've just seen the Milano come into competitive play. Well, that hasn't been here for the last 3 months. So how are you going to predict whether or not that will end up changing things? And the guns that we've seen change as well today as well. I don't know. It's going to be exciting for me to see exactly what happens with these two teams as they play.
Yeah, that's correct too. Plus, I got word that the QBZ, because I think they were using that too just last night. So the QBZ as well is GA'd now. So the meta is always changing, and it is hard to predict. You are correct. So that's where I say that if you've been a team for a while, you have that chemistry together, it's kind of easier to adapt. Role changes might be happening. That could be happening here even with the Wester team, or I know it's happening with NYSL Academy. It's just changes always need to be made. So you always want to do the best possible change to have the best possible outcome. And that's just COD. That's classic COD for you, Bryce. It really is. It's always been like that for years.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about the North American region for me at the moment, especially right now, is there seems to be this. They're almost put under much more scrutiny than the EU region, right? There are only a few names that kind of come out of the EU region as, well, oh, this player has done X, or this player is going to be the new player, go up into franchises. Where in North America, there are pretty much those storylines in every single team massively, right? And this is when you've got things like Kismet, obviously played in the league last year, Temp, you've got Parasite X World Champion, you've got people wondering who is going to be the hot new rookie coming in, because it's the season of rookies in the franchises. So in North America, you've got this wonderful thing of not only do these rookies get great exposure in North American region, but you've got all these pros that have dropped out of franchises or dropped down from the CDL last year into the North American region. It's a ridiculously stacked lineup pretty much in every single team list you read. Like I was reading over the team list again before we came on today, just sitting there going, wow, this is ridiculous. Like you'd expect to see almost any of these players be pushed back up into the league at any point. There are only a few new names that ever kind of come through even into challenge now, because it's just that many talented players. But before I digress and go any further, it looks like this game is going for a draw, so I will continue.
So you can get
and go even further. Yeah, never mind. Ignore everything I just said. You know, we're. I've got time. I've got
that's
got
also
plenty
classic
of time.
Call. Yeah, that's also classic Call of Duty. You know, lobby crashing. Yeah. But I agree with you, Bryce. You're right. This is North America. This is your time to shine, and you want to play your best. And it seems like it's the rookie year. You have Paul X, you got Venom, who got picked up by 100 Thieves. Changes are just being made. I'm so sorry. Who? I am drawing a blank right now. There's so many people that just got Hydra switched over to like 3 different teams. You know, I was gonna say there's just so many opportunities here. And what were we gonna say?
Sorry, I was gonna help you out there. Saying, you've got great examples of it. Like take Zed for instance, who we knew was on a franchise the year before. Then we saw him in stage 1 of Challengers Elite, doing okay, not amazing against it, but now he's gone back into the league and people are loving it again, right? It's one of those stories. Like this is obviously where you get to watch the players when they're not doing the franchise and see who's going to be the next big thing. How are they playing every other way? And North America has a lot of those stories going on, and sometimes it almost feels like it's too much. It's like you read through this list of players just in this game alone, all storied careers, all been main stage players, all pretty much have had highlight reels on the main stage themselves as well, trying to pick up a single thread to see, right, well, who's currently the best today, or this game, or this map, or even this half of the map, because pretty much every single one of them is not only capable of it, but have done and proven it in the past.
That's correct. Even we even have John back into the mix on Easter, so it really is a passion pit. It's a passion pit here, Bryce, and it's just It's just one of those things. You definitely have to give it your all because you want to shine here and you want to be picked up by one of those franchises for sure.
You certainly do. All right, well, it looks like this game is ready to get started this time around as we jump on board with the attacking squad now. On board with Zap. And you can see they've played a little bit slow. Normal big A hits come in, or you try and work around mid and street. Right now, neither team really making a move. Built by Gamers have got a great setup here. They've got 2 around statue. No information given away yet, and that's the most crucial thing here. Wester do not know what they're about to step into.
That's right. After the stun check comes in, Kismet there in the corner does manage to take out Temp, and the fact that Panda was there street side, he manages to clean that kill, but then Zap trades him out now. Now left in a 2 versus 2. The bomb is down, and it looks like Pentagram slowly is going to make his way over there to B. He might come in contact there with Zap. Oh, I think he saw him. He's going to throw the nade out. Slow rotation is going to come towards B. The fights are going to come in. Pentagram still staying alive there. With 20 seconds left on the clock here, Bryce.
They certainly are, and this is where it gets a little bit cautious. Pentagram keeps picking this door. He's going to find somebody any second now, and Zap shuts him down as well. Built by Gamers. Oh my goodness, GunnerX is just in the right position at the right time. And we'll pick up a beautiful 2-piece there, pretty much without a gunfight. By the look at it, you can see him turn around here as his teammate goes down. There's Zap. There's Parasite. Thank you very much. And that's an easy pickup in the end.
Ooh, the God timing on that. If you are GodRx, you are definitely feeling good about that one. Oh, man. Well, now on the attacking side, that was an interesting little defensive strategy right there. Worked out pretty well for BBG. But now, on the offensive side, GodRx, what a good play. Would you say that was lucky?
I think it was positioning. Obviously, they were playing around it, like they were trying to figure out, like, defensive-wise where it needed to go, and it was just fortunate. You know, his teammate managed to get taken down, and he just turned and burned and saw 2 players in front of him. You know, it's one of those things that sometimes you need a little bit of luck as well as being very, very good, and I would never take that away from him. But speaking of this round, right now they have the advantage. It is going to be 4-3 with bomb down, all on Wester to try and retake.
Yep, they have the bomb down now. Hamza's in the back, police here. Just slowly waiting for his teammates. They're going to try to collapse onto this point. Temp does manage to take out Kismet. Now, Pentagram gets that kill on Hamza. Now, can he get the second? Temp manages to take him down, runs away with his life, playing alive. But now he's in a bad spot. 15 seconds left on the clock in a 1 versus 2. And 10 seconds left. It doesn't look like he's going to make it on this one. He does get tagged up, but BBG overall doing a very good job on that offensive side now, leading it 2-0.
Yeah, that's a horrible retake, by the way, when you haven't got numbers.
Yeah.
It's just so difficult. Temp there, going to get the first trade, and here's the thing, like I said, when you don't have numbers, Temp did a great job. Managed to get that trade in for as well, and you can see he even gets the second kill, but even doing that, they're still equal in numbers, and the bomb is down, and he has time. Like, it's a nightmare scenario. You'd hope you'd be able to reduce their numbers before they get in, but right now, Built by Gamers, 2-0 in this search and destroy. And realistically, they are feeling pretty good. We are going to go on board, though, with Wester as they go on the attack. And it looks like they're going to be playing around maybe mid once again.
Yeah, this time, though, the defensive side, BBG is not stacked up on that street side. They're kind of doing an A stack, maybe potentially anticipating that push there. But on both sides, it looks like patients are coming in now. Pander manages to get that first blood now. Parasite takes down Pentagram. Now in the 3v3 situation. Good shots from him. The bomb looks like it's going to slowly start to rotate towards A. And Pander takes down Hamza. I just blinked and he just, boom, headshotted him. Now Kismet manages to take up another kill on Zaptius. Now Parasite left in a 1-3. And this is not looking good for your, if you are Wester, this is not looking good for them. Now BBG up 3-0 in the series. And man, what shots from them. Pander. Look at that. Boom. I blinked and he died. Bryce, that was so fast. Good shots coming in from him, and overall great defensive from BBG, switching it up from the first time.
It was kind of I mean, it's just not going well. Wester just can't seem to get anything going here. We may be seeing an A hit, just by the way they're looking here, by the way. Built by Gamers pretty much going straight for this. They're going to have Panda, who's actually really critical in this push. You've got to keep an eye on escalators if you are going to be in that mid position. But they've done it right now. They have the numbers here, built by Gamers. If they can execute this properly, already you can see flashes and nades going out. They're going through the inside, and here's where it's about to kick off. Kismet trying to figure this one out. You can already see guns going down. The best thing is now they've stalled them just enough. Wester are going to have reinforcements swinging back over if they can.
Zaptius on the flank there does manage to take out Panda now. Got our X on the bomb site. He still hasn't actually died just yet. Currently on a 4 streak. And 3 lives remaining for Wester. The bomb is not going down, so they could potentially have a rotation over here to A and take this point, but it's the waiting game. You have 35 seconds left now. The plant comes in from Kismet. If they manage to get this off, they're left in a 3 versus 2, but very doable here.
Yeah, however, look at this stack coming through as well. They've got to be careful with it. It's already 1 come 3. Does he 1? He gets 2 as well. Kismet somehow stay alive. Oh my goodness. Built by Gamers are in a bad situation. They're outnumbered, but never outgunned. Kismet somehow gets 2 and gets away with his life. The 3rd trade comes in. West are having a bad day.
I think I've seen
They've had a bad day. They've got the last game. It's bad.
I've seen him do that like 3 times. Kismet is having a field day, Bryce. Oh my gosh.
I believe the correct term for this is lost full. And yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know right now whether or not West can just chill and regain. That's clearly going to be an annoying round for them. They had the numbers. They went for the stag. It's pretty much textbook what you should do. But I don't know whether somebody was supposed to slide in there or whether they were supposed to do something a little bit different, but they sort of stalled in the doorway when that gunfight come down and weren't able to really get it going. And right now, Built by Gamers up again once more time. There's another fight going down back. It's going to be Zap. He brings it back to a 2 versus 2. You see Kismet flying around the outside. They're going to try and figure this out now. There are players both sides for Built by Gamers. Westar just stalling here a little bit, trying to figure out their next move.
Yeah, with 47 seconds left on the clock, they're just patiently waiting for the pinch. Obviously, BBG is set up in a good position here to collapse on this to this point, and they know that they're waiting there. So either which way, Kismet's just holding this. Eski's anticipating across, maybe over to that B site, but it looks like the plant might come in at A, and it looks like Zaptius is going to get this plant off. 22 seconds left remain on the clock, but they get that down, extend that time to 40, and now shots come in. Zaptius gets tagged up a little bit. Now he knows where 1 is. Kismet takes down Zaptius now, and Pander gets that, or excuse me, Hamza gets that trade on Pander now, left in a 1 versus 1. Kismet already on fire, currently on a 5 streak. Can he get the 6? He does, and he shakes his head. No way! No way! Oh. You can't do this to me. This is my time. So now he gets that defuse, leading 5-0. This is scary. This is scary from BBG right now.
It is, and I was gonna say, like, here's another thing we need to keep an eye out on now. Kismet is 1 off streaks. I think he's probably in the 6th off streaks. He can pretty much do anything and get an artillery. While it's already 6-0, they're already 5-0, they don't need to worry too much about it, right? But they may bait from here. It may be something like a massive A push. They go for it and 3 slide in front of him. He can pick up any sort of trade that he needs to. Get it, even if they lose the round, it doesn't really matter. But it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that because the split is not right off the rip. So maybe a slow push around A. The better bomb site for them here in this scenario, by the way, if they can get these streaks, is always going to be A. So maybe that's what they're thinking here, worrying about those streaks coming in from Kismet. Because you see the big escalator stack has come in from Wester. And now they're going to have to try and figure this one out. A Parasite with the first blood and the second blood as well. Huge kills for them as well. Now Kismet has to stay alive and play for his streaks. It has been brought back. It's Kismet in a 1 versus 2.
Now left at 1 versus 2. Kismet's going to rotate around towards that A site. 54 seconds left on the clock, and that's the scary thing. If BBG, if they go to a 3rd map, their control has been looking pretty scary as well. So this is still doable for Wester to come back, but now Kismet's gonna get this plant off. He has the plant off. He's gonna run away. He has potential to win this, but he has 2 players to worry about: Zaptius and Parasite. And Parasite manages to take him out now, getting that defuse. Hopefully, they come alive here in this series, bringing it up a point. 1-5 in this search and destroy, but they have a long ways to come back and bring this to around 11.
Yeah, they certainly do, and it's a very long way, especially with an artillery player around.
Yeah.
You know what, Kismet could have possibly done something there, but it doesn't really matter. You are correct. You know, this is a long way back for Wester. Built by Gamers, though, are now going to be on the defense. I'm wondering if the play here is to maybe only leave one player A to maybe call it. And if you're Wester, you're also going to be thinking about baiting out that streak. How do you bait that streak out? Well, you could go A and try to get him to use it. But it looks like they might be going for the safer option. This is a full B push. They're not even going to worry about it. See exactly how it goes. There's actually a massive A stack coming in from Built by Gamers as well. They haven't read this right at all. And now I'm going to have to think about repositioning.
Yeah, definitely have to do that. Kismet manages to nade check that, though, and he knows exactly where they are, so the rotation's going to come in. Zapti is a couple shots into there on a Pentagram, and it looks like 2 goes down. Pentagram takes out Zap. Kismet does take out. Temp takes out Pentagram now, and Hander waiting for that rotation. He does get a kill. Now left. Temp is left in a 1 versus 2. He has to win this so they don't go to map 3 already, but it looks like BBG is just too strong on that. BBG was just too strong on that search, anticipating that push, and got her X. Good shots from him. Good stuff. BBG now lead the series 2-0.
Yeah, pretty easy going on the search and destroy in the end there. A little bit of an anti-climax, realistically. I was wondering if there's going to be a bit of a fight back coming in from Wester, but nothing really so far. Not able to really get it going, and the hardpoint wasn't great for them, but they managed to make a comeback. The SD wasn't great for them, but no comeback this time around. You've got to ask yourself, you know, have they just gone cold after beating subliners, or what else has happened? A Built by Gamers just a different breed.
I think BBG is just a different breed. They've had the time, you know. Realistically, they've had the time. They've been making the plays. It's been showing in their gameplay the last couple of weeks. They've been everything has improved. They play more aggressive now. It looks like they play more for power positionings and over flooding. And you know, back in stage 1, you notice that like sometimes they were in situations where they would flood certain things, either solo flood. But overall, you see collapses more. You see teamwork that's shining. And overall, I just think that teamwork is shining. And of course, when you have GodRx and Kismet slaying and getting kills like that, of course, it's hard to shut them down. But I think Wester, they still have a chance to come back alive on this and bring it back. But when you have BBG playing like this, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
This is too hard. Kismet's over here doing 360s.
Here's the thing, never count these guys. Yeah, never count. I'm not counting Wester out, right? There's too much talent in this team to just go out with a whimper like this, right? And here's the first thing. It's not even the end of the road for them. If they lose this is winners round. They can go into losers. It's not the end. Don't worry about it. We can see whether it's just a bad matchup. Maybe they're just having a bad time of it. I was going to say, but I keep trying to say bad day, but I've already seen them play and they looked pretty good last time around. Let's go look at the maps here. Let's see whether or not it's going to go the distance and everything going on forth. If you have joined us just now, of course, we start off with Raid Hardpoint. Built by Gamers pretty much set the tempo on that one. They're up by over 100 points at one point, ended with over 109. Then we go into the Search and Destroy, which was pretty one-sided all the way around. Didn't end up in a 6-0 though, so silver linings for that one. Then we have Checkmate Control, Checkmate Hardpoint, and Raid Search and Destroy if we get that far, which right now is not looking like a ridiculously good prospect. Built by Gamers are pretty much on a roll, Ellen.
Yeah, that's correct. They're on a roll. It's really hard to shut them down when they're playing like this, but if Wester's going to answer back, they have to do it right here, right now, because if they do lose, then they do play the winner of Subliners and UT Crew. They're not out completely, but obviously you want to make it till tomorrow and advance just like that. Built by Gamers making a statement, but here we go right here onto this Control. Wester, I don't believe, has lost on Control Checkmate just yet. So let's see if they can continue that streak, Bryce.
Well, we're going to find out right now, and at the moment, Parasite is looking to make sure that does not happen. Open up with a nice 2-0, and they are getting both points as well. Trying to be quite ambitious for this one. Probably going to go straight for the first A, but already Temp flying out, trying to hold down plane control. Massive on this map, by the way. If you can dictate all the tempo into plane, you can pretty much have your run of it. Second tick now going on to A as well, and this is much better from West Arc straight out of the gate.
Definitely. They're on fire now. So they already captured that A point. Now the rotation is going to slowly start to come over to B. But you already have Built by Gamers who's kind of set up here, anticipating the push. Kismet knows someone's pushing around here on that street side. Does manage to take out Zap. And he has to worry about, take a look at number 3 there, Parasite, who's trying to flank over and get that spawn trap going, trying to push him out of their base. But Parasite does manage to get that kill now. Pander knows that someone's back there. He's going to rotate over, get that kill on Parasite. And overall good defense there from BBG. But in the lives of Wester, they're up 23-18 right now.
That's big for them as well. You're going to be trying this map a lot of times. You just want to be a bit more aggressive like they are being and try to push them back into their spawn. And it actually works both sides of this plane if you can get it. Obviously, team's well practiced in breaking that as well. But here comes another fight for plane. Gunnar X versus Temp this time around. Doesn't see anyone. Checks all his corners, goes for it, but Temp has been waiting there patiently ready for it. And Zap comes in to make sure that trade does not go their way as well. Right now, West are having a great time of pushing up. More control coming on to B. They're flooding it with a couple of players. They might even go for a triple stack here to try and get as much time as possible. They're doing it. Look at it rocket. They might even put the 4th on it. Right now, Built by Gamers have to go. That second tick is already in. Kismet gets the first one. They're now trying to flood onto the hill. They know it's already gone down. It's almost to the 3rd tick, and Kismet gets 3 and completely rebuffs them. But it was a great tactic from Western there because they have the lives to play with and the time. They have made this so difficult for Built by Gamers as they continue to lose this slaying game.
That's correct. Wow, what a great plays from Kismet there now. And the slaying game indeed is happening. 14-18 kills, 50 seconds remaining on lives. And it looks like Wester's definitely stepping it up here. Temp trying to stay alive in the plane. Zapsy is getting the kill on the point. It is contested. He manages to get that kill on Kismet. Now only 4 lives remaining left here for Built by Gamers, and the capture is coming in. But Zap hops off of it to play his life because he knows they only have to kill 4 more lives remaining. Now 3 left, and Wester looking like they're going to take this point, but 30 seconds left on the clock. BBG, they have to get the kills here if they want to survive.
And I just don't think it's possible, right? Like when you come down to a 4 versus 11, you lose a single trade, you're automatically in a really bad way because you're just not going to have that player come back. So any sort of trade just goes really badly for you. But I'll tell you something, that is exactly the round that Western needed out of the gate to bring this one back. And tell you something else, Zap is, for lack of a better word, cracked. Look at some of this play you're going to see here in the kill cam. Unbelievable, snapping onto pretty much everyone in this game, trying to bring this one back.
I like that lingo that you use there for Zap. Yeah, absolutely. He's going off right now, and that was just a beautiful play right there to solidify that capture. And but Built by Gamers now on the offensive side, they can still answer back on this, tie up the series, and it looks like we're gonna have an aggressive push here towards that A site, but kind of passively playing back. Kismet actually naded himself. Not good. It's all right. Pander will clean up the kill, but not before being traded out by Parasite. Wester on that aggressive side here. And the splits are coming in, but Wester overall, they look like they have that initial map control. And this is not a good spot to be trapped in that corner there if you are BBG.
No, this is exactly the worst case scenario. As soon as you give away a bit of P2 control or a bit of plane control, you can start getting yourself trapped in. But Kismet has managed to get through, and there are already kills coming now. This is huge for Kismet as he can make it. It will give his team some breathing room. He manages to go down as Zap manages to get another kill for it as well. And they clear house one more time. Another kill under the ground. It's going to be Pentagram trying to figure out if he can just give his team a bit of breathing room to come off for that respawn. You can see them now going back towards A Street. They know Tome is slowly ticking away as they now move, trying to get it, but Parasite shuts them down once again. Panda underneath the plane and under pressure, and this is now becoming a very serious problem. 24 seconds left to go, the very last chance for Built by Gamers to push.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to slowly start to push towards that B site, and essentially not enough time left on the clock. They have to just pretty much flood into the point either which way. 21 lives, 13 seconds left, excuse me, but Kismet managed to get onto that B site. Try to solidify extra time here, but when you are Wester right now, getting kills like Parasite is 13-6, he's looking pretty good right now on for Wester. It's just really hard. It's really hard to capture with that amount of time because you start to play kind of aggressive, panicky, if you will. But overall, Wester looking like they're gonna close this one out here and lead this map up 2-0 now.
Wester in a great position to pretty much get rid of all that negativity, right? Not a great hardpoint, not a great S&D. Win the control, we move on, we try and make the reverse sweep. It's not unheard of. These players are very, very good. Well, as you can see, and what you were talking about there, you're right. You become such a problem, right? When you have no time left, you basically have to keep overreaching, and that's what was happening in the last few seconds. Players basically have to run into the hill and hold it in a position they don't want to be in. That's not good positioning. It's giving a big target on your back because they know where you're going to be. You're having to hit sprint into things and basically hoping that you don't get caught in sprint, which basically means you're going to lose a lot of the time when this pre-aim's coming in. But it's not over. Built by Gamers have a chance now if they can hold this defense. And you see, once again, it's going to be a little bit of a slow play by Wester as they try to look for an opening, try to figure out where these first kills come down. And Temp's going to go through plane, but it's already going to be 2, 3 down. And now Wester are going to be backed up into their spawn. They have to be careful here. Built by Gamers are taking this powerful position and trying to get them off of it.
And as you say that, it looks like Hamza just got that 2-piece to get him off of it. So yeah, Kismet was definitely in a position to hopefully be annoying in their base and push aggressively right there, but Hamza just shuts him down. Pander now shuts him down, and Zaptius over here at A manages to push up a little bit, hopefully solidifying that capture here, and he has to help a Parasite there on the A site, but not before he gets shut down by Pander. Zaptius with the trade onto that, contesting the hill. He gets 2 now. Can he get the 3rd? No, he does not, but Hamza's there to get the trade, and overall the trades are coming back and forth on this point, but looks like Wester's still managing to get some of this scrap time here left. They need this to extend the time. 40 seconds left on the clock, and BBG is just answering back. They're fighting for their lives at this point. They have to keep pushing them to this point. And overall, they have been map control, which is looking like to be in a very good position for them to take this round.
Like you see, here comes the big push, though, coming down 8th Street. Now, Kismet, a little bit of trouble, because that next to him doesn't have as much pressure as he would like. Temp already gets one off of it. Temp gets 2. How on earth he made that second one? He pretty much gone flying out. Temp with a 3rd. And now looking for the... Temp has gone berserk and has shut down Built by Gamers completely into this one. And his team is now going to get A off the back of that one. Temp is going for it once more again into their spawn and into the teeth of Built by Gamers as he's trying to pick them apart and end this map right here, right now.
Wow. Good stuff from him. Now Temp's still alive over here. He knows. He gets the kill on Pander. Now he's on a spree, but he does get shut down. Now Zaptius trying to answer back on that trade on Godarex, and he does. And he gets the 2nd on Penta. That is not looking good if you're a BBG, but overall they're playing aggressive. You're trying to solidify that spawn and get this capture in, and playing on the aggressive side. That's important here, right? You want to push up, you want to trapped into the corners of the map, and overall Wester's doing such a good job of that. Pander trying to answer back. He knows that there's one in the corner, but Hamza manages to take him out, and overall Wester's getting the kills. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. 11 to 10. Wester could take this one.
Yeah, this could really go either way. Now, both sides have got to be careful in the way that they do it. Now, first tick should go in. Built by Gamers trying to get into a position can actually do something. A Pentagram has been bamboozled a little bit. Can't find that player that went above him. Now, with life going in favor of it, Kismet is trying desperately. He made a 3-piece on this hill last time. He tries to get the 2nd. It's not going to be any good. That 2nd tick is now rocketing up. Built by Gamers have to get back into position, but they've lost so many lives. Zaptius has been carving them apart. He's 23 and 13. Another push coming in. That's another kill from Zaptius. Another kill from Zaptius. Another kill from Zaptius as they have cut them down and cut them out of this control point. Wester come back into this series with a lovely 3-0 on Checkmate Control.
This is the Wester team that you were talking about, right? I think this is it. Oh my gosh. Temp, no, why do you gotta do that to them like that? Oh my gosh, between him and Zap, yeah, they were slaying like crazy on that map. So that's the Wester team that we know and love. Essentially, obviously the roster just changed quite a bit, but either which way, they look like they're coming alive right there, and they just took that comfortably. It's kind of crazy because the first 2 maps, BBG looked like they took that comfortably, and Wester, it just looked like they flipped spots. They actually just flipped.
I honestly don't know. I was running out of breath discussing that game. It was one-sided, but entertaining nonetheless. but certainly has given us a game on hand. And I said, you know, I hope it's Control. They're going to get back into this. 4 reverse sweep is more than plausible. Well, turns out when you're playing like that, it is outrageous. And I'll tell you something, I am looking forward to seeing these replays.
Yeah, absolutely. And good job for Wester. They were just so aggressive and in their face on the side of BBG, and they just did such a good job at executing that. Like you said, bamboozled. It looks like Amza just did that little bamboozle on the pentagram there, but overall they just did such a good job, and I'm really excited to see how this hard point's gonna go just from the first map, how BBG played it, and coming off of this here, it's just gonna be really interesting to see, Bryce. It could go either way, like you said, but man, I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think you were either, because we were just talking about it, and we are like, man, BBG looks like they might actually 3-0 them right here, but now Wester's coming alive. They're answering back in this, and they definitely want to take this to the map 5.
Yeah, unbelievable there. I was just looking at the final kills there. I think Zap was at 25 and 30, 26 and 13. Ended up there at the very end of the game. Unreal play from them to just bring that slaying down. And you know, you had Temp doing pretty much the same thing. They had massive playing control. Every time you thought the Build By Games maybe would gain a little bit of control or push forward or try and get them into a spawn trap. Nope, slaying. Get out of here. We're coming back across the map. We're not paying attention to any of that. And that's exactly what I need to do. I'm looking forward to the next hardpoint. I want to see this slaying in this next hardpoint. That's what I want to see. Then we get a real war on our hands, because clearly Temp and Zap are just ready to go to war with whatever the Build By Gamers are going to throw at them. And I'm glad it's not going to be a blowout, because I was a little bit worried there for a second.
I was too. I was right there with you, because I'm like, I mean, I love BBG. Don't get me wrong, I love BBG, but I love Wester too. I know that there's more to this than that meets the eye, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a host thing. I don't want to throw that out there, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not playing, but either which way, I'm really excited to see this hard point, and I really hope that it swings in a more
we'll see.
Comfortable. What's the word I'm looking for? A more
close game,
close fashion. Yeah, there was a different word I was looking for. A more fancier word there. You can roast me too. It's okay, Bryce. Roast me.
Oh, don't worry. I will. I've got 10 years of dirt on ton. It's much easier to do it on. But for any of you just joining us, this is the update on how it's been going. Wester versus Build By Gamers. Currently, Raid Hardpoint, pretty one-sided between these two. Moscow Search and Destroyed, again, Build By Gamers, one-sided. Control, one-sided. But this time, for Wester managed to come back and do it. Had a great game. Zap was pretty much frying out of the gate and managed to lock it down completely. We are actually going back to Checkmate for map number 4. That will be Hardpoint. And if we get all the way to the end, Raid Search and Destroy. Is it going that far, Ellen? I don't know.
I don't know either, because again, on this Checkmate as well for Hardpoint, they're both tied on the stat line. So it could go either way. I don't know if we'll go to a map 5. It's just one of those things, again, you just can't really predict. Throw the predictions out the window, but here we go. Let's just watch the game and find out, you guys, because I know you're just anticipating it more than I am. But either which way, both teams are very, very good. You have to be here, you have to shine, and it looks like we might be going into a draw, and we get to keep talking.
We certainly do. And here's the thing, right? I am just a big fan of Call of Duty Esports, have been for the last decade, always been. There are so many good players to watch now in the Challengers Elite series. And here's the thing, I had a sneaky look at the YouTube chat while that game was ending, and we were watching some of the replays and stuff. I'm sitting there going, people are being hypothetical about who could potentially be picked up into some of the franchises that are struggling. That's exactly what Challengers Elite is for. That is exactly what people should be doing. These players are the next set of superstars to help franchises. Who here is going to be the next person to be picked up and say, hey, they have made this team better. Hey, they are now been signed to the Rocker or Optic or Thieves or anybody else who needs a little help at some point to change their roster. We've already seen roster changes happen in abundance this year. Well, this is the talent pool they're picking from. This is where you're going to find out the story of these players as they rise through the ranks and become the next big household name in the CDL.
That's correct. That's correct. If you want to make a name for yourself, this is the place to do it. This is where you really shine and do show your skill. You want to show off what you can bring to the team, and look at how many players already got picked up in the last couple of weeks. This is why sometimes it's hard to predict these things, because these rosters keep changing. Players keep getting essentially picked up. It's the rookie year, as it was stated earlier. So it's hard to determine to see who's going to win. But either which way, what we're doing here, it's good. It's good. It shows your talent, and you want essentially to get picked up into the CDL. So why not? Why not go for it, right? So overall, these players, it's such a huge pool of players that are so good, and it's so hard to just pick a favorite, because I mean, like I said, some of these players even I used to play with back in the day, or some of even friends of mine. It's really hard to just root for one specific team. I like I said, I want them all to win, but overall they're doing their thing and they're bringing the competition, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking forward to it as well. People have been talking about, these games like the games we've been seeing here, while they have been one-sided, have certainly had their highlights themselves. And this is only one step removed from the very highest level of Call of Duty, and the skill level is definitely not that far off. I'll tell you right now, I've been watching Call of Duty players for a decade. There is definitely some overlap here for these players and these teams about who could be right at the top for this one. But third time's a charm. Now we are going to have this game going. Enough of me preaching to everybody watching at home. Let's find out how this hardpoint goes down. Of course, jumping on board with Pentagram first. And this is the third gun I've actually seen him use this series alone. Now I'm going to be trying out the MP5.
I've seen a couple people use this today, but MP5, let's see how it works out for him. Looks like he got one kill there. Parasite, he gets traded out by Parasite, manages to get two. Now got a Rex, answering that, trying to be annoying, push up into that base and flip it out. But overall, it looks like Wester does have control over this point. Now Pentagram pushing in here with that MP5. He manages to get that kill on Parasite. Now it looks like the pinch and the trades and the battle of the plane is coming out now, and Pentagram, he switched his weapon out. And overall, 14 seconds left on this clock. They're going to have to start pushing through and worry about that rotation towards the P2, because they have Wester and Zacchaeus and Hamza, who's already set up over there onto that new rotation.
Well, Pentagram, great way. You are right, that rotation is so important. Now you can see them trying to go through the blue side of the map, trying to get it, and Temp them in the stairs. Temp shuts them down. They haven't managed to penetrate that. I thought those bullets were going to be on, but that is not the case. This is a very difficult hill to break from the position that Built by Gamers are currently in. You have to pretty much try and punch through and make very inefficient trades. And you can see already now, Kismet and GodRx actually end up just wiping their team out. Nothing went well then. Nothing at all went well, and they've been pushed out. This is the problem with this P2, right? If you can't get into blue, or get down blue side of the map, or try and make it a little bit contested, you basically run out of all options. You end up spawning back A Street. You've got to run the gauntlet of A Street or Plain, or all the way down mid. And it's just not great for you. There's too many places that you can be picked off. There's too much cover. And you can see right now, right, they're not even really trying to go for it again. They're just holding for the next hill, knowing that was a lost cause. Hamza, though, has managed to get into back plane and is now trying to hold himself for P3.
That's correct. Now onto this P3 rotation. Now Kismet's holding this plane, locking it down. And in the side of Wester, it looks like they're kind of spawning out everywhere. It looks like everyone's kind of everywhere right now, but that's what happens when you battle in the plane. Now 2 down. Kismet try to slip up into that time, but Wester answers back with the slays coming in from them now. And they have control over this point now. Pentagram going to try to answer back. Trophy eats up his nade there, so it doesn't look like he does manage to take out damage onto that teammate. But the trades and the kills and everything is just flying in for the side of Wester. Now 25 seconds left on the clock. They're gonna have to start thinking about that rotation over to the new hill, and it looks like just that. Temp is doing that right here.
He's trying to get this one, and he does get another one. Temp doing a fantastic job on holding them in. It looks like you can see right now that Wester are pretty much running away with it again, Ellen. This is a tale of 2 different halves of this series already. First 2, all built by gamers. They look fantastic. Coming to the next 2 games, and Wester have pretty much turned up into a different. What happens in map number 5? Really, I have no idea. I am, of course, getting ahead of myself, talking about this game has ended. Right now, Built by Gamers getting some time onto Street. Pentagram is playing this off angle, and you can see right now Wester are being very careful to try and get into a stack position before they can. They're now making the kills as well. Pentagram is going to have to defend mid. Ham's trying to push through at the same time. Already and that is a huge few kills from Kismet to lock this one down. They desperately needed this time, and they've done exactly that. The next move for them, though, is pushing forward, trying to get backward spawn for this next one. Already Kismet got one. He knows Kev's going to be in the window as well, and they are just unloading them then now. And Hamza is going to be in the tower all alone, surrounded by a sea of enemies.
That's right, and it looks like Wester did spawn out, so now Pentagram does... Kismet gets that kill on Hamza now with the help. Pentagram was there in case to get the trade. Now, looks like Built by Gamers is coming alive into this hard point. Pentagram holding this angle here, knowing that they're going to be pushing the street side. Wester does get that scrap time. Pentagram looked like he got clocked there, but manages to stay alive. Now he does get traded out though by Hamza, and BBG in a good spot here, getting these, getting this hill time. But it looks like actually Wester now managed to get the kills in the back, and now they have the rotation. They have the point. 40 seconds soaking up this hill time. BBG now is spawning out. Even though they are getting the kills, they don't have spawns. This is not a necessarily good position to be in here if you are BBG.
Well, they managed to rebuff that one as well. They got a little bit of chaos spawns, you are right. And even with Built by Gamers now in the advantage position for this hill, usually with 20 seconds left to go, they probably don't care too much about it. They've got a player out of the hill, they'll grab the spare if they can, but now it's all about the rotation of playing. You can see Zap is getting ready for it himself. He's going to see a player on the wing, flies and falls off, but it doesn't matter. That gets picked up, that gets traded away, he gets two as well. The plane is now in their control. Wester are ready to extend this lead one more time.
That is correct. They have that plane control initially. Parasite's holding that back fin there, and now push is going to come in through from BBG. Kismet manages to take down 3 there with the help of Pentagram. Now they're answering back again, holding this hill time, but they have to start thinking about that P2 rotation. You notice Wester is just kind of chilling back there, just waiting. They know that they need that. Essentially, it's a money hill, right? Second hill is the money hill. You hold that whole entire time, and like you said, Bryce, they could spawn on the other side of the map, and then they have to travel all the way around. So 30 seconds left on this mid hill, and Wester is doing just that now. It looks like they do get the kills on that. Split spawns do come in. Now BBG did manage to flip it, it looks like. But overall, Wester is going to get this time here. 153 to 107. Does he get that kill on Kismet? He does to solidify the scrap time. But actually, Pender came in to say, no, I want it. And now Wester overall, they have control over that P2 hill. But now the push is going to come in through BBG.
It certainly is, and they try to do it again. Oh my goodness, they've got great spawns. They managed to get the spawn somehow by putting enough pressure on the blue, which they shouldn't have done. They've managed to get a great spawn there. Built by Gamers have now got control of P2. I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but Wester now know this is happening. They are trying to get this through. Pentagram is just dropping the hammer as well, trying desperately to stay alive. Got Erector back here alone at the back, and they managed to get the good spawn, but they have been pushed out. Great recovery from Wester to recognize what had just happened. And they've managed to hold on to P2 by the skin of the teeth. Not a lot of time, though, because of the amount that was burnt in that chaotic fight going through. But now we're going to rotate once again. Temp is now going on to another spree himself. Has 3, tries to push forward one more time. But that could have been absolutely worst case scenario for Wester if Built by Gamers got a full 60 there.
That's correct. I don't know exactly what just happened there, but the kills essentially, and now you see Temp slowly starting to push out here. Does manage to stay alive with his life, but overall Wester's pushing up, holding the wings of the plane, holding every single angle, and getting those kills onto BBG, knowing exactly where they're spawning. They have good map control right now. BBG is going to try to answer back, but Temp, when he's playing like this now on a 6 streak, it is so hard to come back from this now. 192 to 119. Wester just looking so good right now in terms of slaying power, but BBG, they're still answering back with this. 28 seconds left on this hill, and now they have to start thinking about that rotation towards the wood point.
They certainly do, and here's the thing. It is not out of the realms of possibility here if Built by Gamers can somehow start holding. Can they try and hold down street against a very aggressive Wester? Because they need all these points here. If they lose this hill, it's pretty much game over. The rotation is just not going to go in their favor. They're not going to have a chance here. Wester, though, everything is here for them to lose. Just contest. Even if they don't contest, they are holding the right spawns for this next rotation as well. Pressure now going to come in. Hasbro going to go down the street. Players now flying into the hill as well. 10 managed to get one and gets away with it as well. GodRx under a little bit of pressure, but he manages to take down Hamza. Parasite coming into him as well. GodRx going to have to look for Temp, and Temp has just gunned him. Fortunately, Pentagram is there for the trade, but that is not enough. Right now, Wester have this game on lock. They've just got to continue these trades and hold this spawn, and it should put them pretty much good. Built by Gamers have so much work to do. You see them contesting A Street once again. GodRx is going to be a little bit of trouble. Can't try to take him on. This time it's going to be GodRx. Hamza fires him once again. There's another trade going through. Built by Gamers know they have to keep pushing this. The rotation is coming in just 15 seconds. What have they got left in the tank?
15 seconds left there on that hard point, and it looks like they're gonna give it up, start to rotate towards that new point. This could go either way here, but overall Wester does have control over this new point, and you're gonna slowly start to see the rotation come in from BBG. I know they don't want to give up too much time now with such being so close in deficit, but again, it's hard to have control over everything when you have Temp slaying like that. He's a monster, but now Pander trying to answer back into the spawn, trying to flip it out, and he's gonna play his life back here, stay alive, and wait for his teammates to flood in through the front. Now Zaptius coming in through that hallway there. He does manage to take him out, but Pentagram is there to help solidify that kill, and now they have a hold here to potentially have a lead change. Excuse me, not have a lead change, closer into the lead. They have 220 now. Wester's 220. 18 seconds left onto this clock, but again, they're gonna have to start rotating towards that plane, and you already have Zap to worry about who's set up there.
They certainly do. And here we go. Built by Gamers brought this back quite close, as you were saying. But the plane is firmly in the control of West. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a team completely be run out of this. Built by Gamers have to have this stack right, and already kills are going down. They can't get anybody near. Here we go. This may be the very last push they are able to mount as a team. Stack coming in on the back stairs. They're ready to push this one straight through already. Now players flying into it as well. Temp gets one. Kismet and Zap. Zap gets another one, but it will be traded out. That is going to allow Build by Gamers into this plane where they need to stick like glue. They cannot move an inch from it and give anything away, because they also do not have the spawn for P2. So much for them to do now as Panda tries to throw shots down as well. More players flying into this plane trying to get it done, and that may be a wipeout for them as well. Pentagram all alone against all of West Star in this plane, and he goes down, and that may be all she wrote as they continue to try and fly through, but it's damage control at this point.
Yeah, this is really tough when you have Wester in there stacked on the point. 14 seconds left. Pentagram actually excellent team nades there on that kill, but Hamza's there to answer back, and the trades again do come through, but Wester still has control over this point. And there's only 2 seconds left onto the clock. It does get contested. Zaptius does get that kill, but not enough time to solidify the win. But they're already set up at the new point. Wester closes that map out 250 to 195, and that is the slaying power. Although BBG could have came back from that, but that's the slaying power that we like to see from Wester. They just did such a good job the last 2 maps coming live in the series. Like you said, it's a tale of 2 teams. You know, first 2 maps it was BBG. Now the next 2 it was Wester. So map 5 here, it's gonna go either way.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing, right, about everything that we just saw. Essentially what happened there was Built by Gamers managed to mount a pretty respectable comeback. They got into there a lot of the times as trades were going down. The problem they had, and the teams have this a lot of the time, is they were so far behind they ran out of options, right? We speak about this in the late half of Hardpoints. Essentially, they had to keep making plays they might not want to play. Most of the time when you talk about A Street and moving down that side of the map, you probably want to push through it and get out of it, but they knew they couldn't afford to. They couldn't afford to let anything really go in here because they were so far down, which didn't allow them to get the good wood spawn early on, which means they bled more time. When they did get that rest out of it, right, they managed to get Westar out. Great play from them. Managed to bring it back very close. Westar set up in play, and they had the bodies, they had the forward position, and those choke points do not allow you to get back into playing very easily. They needed to stay alive in there and force Westar to think about the flanks coming through. Unbelievable plays, by the way, from Temp and Zap to do just that. That duo was just slaying all the way through this game and just kept causing problems. Built by Gamers were just not able to answer it. That is the difference in that hard point, and that is the reason that we're now going to a map 5. That's
correct. You are absolutely correct. I nothing that you just said, Bryce, I will contest, because you are absolutely correct. It's pretty crazy too, because I feel like if you're BBG, maybe you might want to take a look at that P2 hill, because I feel like a lot of the time that Wester got in the beginning especially was from that hill. And then I think second time around you had Pentagram, who was there maybe a little bit late on. They were a little bit late on the rotation, but I don't know exactly what happened. The spawns kind of split out there, and it looked like they had control of that P2 the second time around, but they didn't. So maybe take a look at that. It was just a couple of key hills. It wasn't like a huge blow up, but like you said, the slaying power and everything in terms that Wester did was just correct. They did it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's mad to see how this game's ended up going. But speaking of how this game is going, it's time to give everybody at home a little bit of a recap as we are going into a map number 5. If you are just joining us, this is how it has gone down. We started off with Raid Hardpoint, built by gamers. We're running away with that one pretty much the whole time. Built by gamers, Wester almost had a little bit of a comeback on it. Well, they didn't really have a comeback. That was Moscow Search and Destroy. Built by gamers dominated that one completely 6-1. And we thought that maybe this would be over. Maybe it'd be a 3-0, but the only 3-0 coming was from Wester. Checkmate Control. They shut it down. Zap and Temp completely ruined Built by Gamers' day, taking us to our map 4 that we just saw. 250-195, but it did feel like Wester had control pretty much the entire way through. So, Raid Search and Destroy is our final map. We have made it here. What's going to happen? Is it a reverse sweep? Or Built by Gamers just going to stop this now?
I don't know. It's just it's a tale of two teams, Bryce. I have no idea. And I was just trying to take a look at the stats for this map on Raid, and I think BBG only played it once. And so Wester has played it 3 times. They lost twice, they won 1. So, and then BBG lost it once. So either which way, it could go either way. But if you're coming off of a 2-0 lead and then you just brought it to a map 5, I hope the momentum doesn't affect BBG right there. But if you are Wester, you're feeling really good right now. You are on the verge of losing, and now you are on the verge of potentially winning. And not to mention, like you said, the only 3-0 fashion we saw was the control, right? So winning like that, it's hard. It's definitely hard. It's a momentum game right there, but either which way, good stuff from them. And I don't know. I don't know, Bryce. I can't predict this one. I can't. I can't predict any of these games.
I wouldn't expect you to. This is going to go down to a map 5, and map 5s are magical. Anything can happen. One thing I will quickly interject with here as well, I believe I've had a score update for our other game that's currently going on in Losers Round 1. Subliners Academy have taken it down the UT Crew 3-0. UT Crew are now eliminated. That does mean that we will see the Subliners in Losers Round 2, another elimination game that comes up after this one. So the question is, who is going to face them? Is it going to be Built by Gamers, or is it going to be Wester? Wester, if they face them again, obviously they beat them in a pretty handy 3-0 the first time around, so could be a bit of revenge for Subliners depending on how this one plays out.
That's for sure. It's going to be a very good game, I feel like, because we didn't actually get to see that. We did see it on the community stream, but either which way, we don't know, though. We don't know for sure. I can't say that it's going to be Wester. If it is, it's going to be a good game. Either which way, if it's BBG Wester, it's going to be a good game regardless. But I would like to see a little bit of a rematch there. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see either which way. It's so hard to say. Both players, obviously, or excuse me, both teams, obviously, very, really good. And we really just seen a whole story here, a whole storyline here of just flip the script, completely flip the script. So if Wester keeps pushing on that, like they just did the last 2 maps, they're gonna close us out. Definitely. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see if this is going to be a reverse sweep now, right? Reverse sweep is some of the biggest storylines you can have in Call of Duty. Well, one is ready to go. Parasite, Temp, you know, Hamza and Zap, they're all ready for it. They had a pretty bad first few couple of maps, but the reverse sweep to put them into playoffs certainly would be cherry on the cake. But let's find out if that is how this is going to happen. Our final map for this series will be Raid, Search and Destroy. Everything now on the table. The last 4 maps, well, they don't mean anything anymore. They've just got us to this point. Let's find out who's going to rock this one out of the gate as we jump on board with a rematch. Because, you know, this pretty much happened every single one this series. Why would it not happen in map 5?
Why would it not? That's just, like I said, it's traditional COD, you know. You have a couple things, lag out, restart, rules wrong. It happens. It happens in which way. But yeah, if you're Wester and like you said, if you're Temp, if you're Parasite, you're definitely hungry to win this Elite Series Stage 2. So they definitely brought the fire back here, and I'm really excited, Bryce. I'm really excited to see who wins this game. Because if it is Wester, I feel like that Western Subletters Academy game might go to a game 5. Wow. I hate to say it.
I mean,
I don't want to
could
jinx
do.
it. I hate
It
to
certainly could. Yeah, you are throwing it. I mean, you're casting it, so have fun with saying whatever you want to with it. So, go ahead. It doesn't matter to me if you cast it. I'm not the one going to be casting the next
You're
game.
gonna have
so
your feet up. Yeah.
I will certainly have my feet up, but not for this one. It looks like this one is dirty and underweight. So we see Parasite going back to get the bomb after he throws a couple of grenades down mid for his teammate Temp laying down here as well. And it is going to be a slow start by West after this one. No real big pushes coming in, but that also means no kill. But GodRX has been taken down. Parasite with that first pick. I think Parasite actually might be sniping. And we haven't seen an awful lot of those. I didn't see what he actually had on him. I know he had a pistol out, which is weird. No, he doesn't. He have a Krieg. Ignore me. He's just got a laser-like shot. Now they're going to bank a move towards A. Gives me... Oh, my goodness! That is the greatest COD timing nade I've ever seen. How do you know?
He captured it. I don't know. I have no idea. That was great. He got stuck. I don't know. That was great. Kismet, though, does get taken down by Hamza now. And Zaptius does manage to take out Pander, so Wester the kills come in, and I was kind of a little bit bamboozled there, Bryce, when you said Parasite had a sniper. I was like, what?
You know what? It's entirely my fault, right? Like I was sitting there and I watched him with a pistol out at the beginning, and I was like, oh, maybe he's running a sniper. I don't know if he would be. We haven't seen anybody run it so far, but we saw the Milano out earlier. I was like, anything could happen in this one. Let's find out.
True.
Plus, it wouldn't be the first time in my career that I've ever casted Parasite with a sniper. So I was just rolling back the years there and just saying whatever I felt like. So I can only apologize for that one. But let's get back into the game. Right now, Built by Gamers, we are on the attack with them. And they need a good round here to regain. They were up in this series. They've brought it back to a map 5. They've lost the first round of Search and Destroy. Let's see how they're going to play this one now.
It looks like the aggressive B plant just came in now, but look at that. He is here on the flank at Art, and he does take out GodRX, but GodRX trades him out. Now Pander gets that kill into Hamza. He's holding down this raid site here, solidifying that bomb site. There's 30 seconds left on the clock now. Temp trying to go through that mid push and flank around Laundry. He does get that kill on Kismet now. He's going to cut back middle, now left in a 1 versus 2 situation. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, but hard to solidify that win there when you have Laundry locked down now. Built by Gamers, 1-1 tied up now, Bryce. I feel like it's just going to be one of those things. They're going to trade rounds, and this is just going to be nail biting. I hope. I hope so.
I can feel you willing it. I can feel
like
you willing the round 11. It's a magical moment. It might happen. It could very well happen, but there is a lot of Call of Duty to get through before we get there. Back on board with Wester on the attack this time around. A little bit of a slow burn last attack, but this doesn't seem to be this time. They are putting the 4 stack into 8. You see them being very, very aggressive with it as well. Now, can they get through here and try to get this bomb down? They're now trying to play the information game. Where on earth are Built by Gamers? We've already seen that nade come across from Paul Stairs. You see the nade coming in one more time. They've taken full control of Ring here at the moment. Big fight going down into it, and Temp will end up taking down Kismet. And it gets stuck. There's another stick in this game. Everybody seems to be catching Semtexes with their teeth today, but Parasite now pushing through into Laundry. They haven't gone for a plant. Panda and GodRX are going to be here. It's a huge gunfight between these two teams, and they've actually ended up stacking against each other.
And it looks like they're going to rotate back towards B and solidify that bomb plant. So Parasite's getting the bomb down right now. GodRX here is Jungle holding this angle. He knows exactly where they're at in Laundry. A couple shots do come in there to Hamza, but overall he's just holding this point. Still has a little bit of a time to hopefully get this pick off. Shots do come in, and if you look at Pander, he is making the flank here into Art. He gets that kill onto Parasite. Can he get that kill on Hamza? GodRX gets that kill on Zap now, and Hamza left in a 1 versus 1 versus Pander. There's 19 seconds left on the clock.
Hamza just laying down, looking for it, and Panda pretty much just flying around. He's going to have to maybe try this one and just hopes to find somebody come out. And Hamza says, no, waits to the last second, just plays the time. And that's all you really have to do. But now, Wester will go up 2-1 in this series. And look at that. Lovely shots onto the rocks there. Parasite didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, it looked like potentially, too, that BBG could have, with Pander making a play like that, it looked like he could have had that second kill on Laundry, but props to Hamza for playing his life, staying alive back there. And like you said, he just laid down, and it was just smart, right? If you have the bomb down in search and destroy, that's all you need to do is just let the clock run, play your life. You don't need to play aggressive and play for kills. And Wester, Hamza did a very good job of that. Now on the offensive side, again, we're going to see a B push here from BBG, but this time, Wester is actually back laundry waiting for that push. Parasite does get that trade onto Pentagram now. 3 versus 3. And he's just going to play his life up here. He knows that they're actually set up on that B site. And overall, he's just doing a good job of staying alive. He gets that help in there from Zaptius. Now 55 seconds left on the clock. And Pander, the bomb is down. So he has to get this bomb and potentially plant at B. But this is a looking pretty tough situation to be in if you're BBG.
And it's just, that was incredible in the attempt. Ridiculous headshots going through, and he put some bullets into Parasite as well. They're furiously backpedaling here, trying to stay alive. Panda versus Parasite, trying to get out of there. Parasite decides discretion is the better part of valor and ends up backing out. Now staying alive, trying to figure out exactly where Panda is. Panda trying to figure out where Parasite has gone. Neither player is entirely sure of what has happened here. They've got no information. But it will be on Panda who has to make a move. He's actually going to plant the side for Parasite. Will Parasite check this at 7.5? That's a big question. Bomb gone down. He's going to know it as well. Parasite now swings out, tries to find him. Knows this player could only have gone pillars. He's going to be looking for the ninja. He hasn't seen him. He's got to check the bomb as well. And he is the Parasite's leg, and down he goes. Built by gamers. Bring it back to 2-2.
Yeah, that was an interesting. It was a very interesting play there. I thought Parasite maybe was going to, pop out and check the bomb and see if he was planting, but he was just staying alive, playing his life, waiting for the plant, maybe playing for the retake, or just anticipating the bomb still being down laundry maybe, and he thought maybe it was down and let the clock run. But either which way, good stuff from there, from BBG, from Pander now, leading the series, or excuse me, tying the series 2-2. And I actually got confused there. I didn't see there was 2 people stacked in the laundry, so that was my apologies on that. I thought it was just one. Pander left in a 1 versus 3. So my apologies on that one. But overall here now on the offensive side, we have Wester attacking the B bomb site yet again. No one yet to push A. It seems pretty much like a defensive laundry play and B site, but now Kismet over here working the flank. Temp manages to take him down. And now it looks like they're going to wrap the bomb back. Wester's going to wrap around, and maybe we have that push towards A site here.
Well, they're going to go for it as well, but they're being very slow about it. And now here comes the push. Temp going straight out. Doesn't see anybody to begin with. Build a game. Just trying to figure out exactly where they're going. They're going to respond from now. Temp with a gunny on the stairs. Takes that player down and is not even slowing down just a little bit. Pushes straight through. Pentagram, though, managed to get behind them. Going to look for this player here. Tries to switch weapon out of the time. Ends up getting killed. Got her X now, though. 1 versus 3. And I don't think this is really that plausible.
Yeah, got our Rex 1 versus 3 now. The bomb does go down. Couple shots in Zappius, but if you're Wester, you're in a position to trade, even if you did get that kill. Essentially, Wester was already set up onto that bomb site. You have Temp at the pool side, Zaptius right there on the bomb. It was close to the bomb. It was just really hard a situation for him, but nonetheless, trades are coming in on the offensive side, so now I was kind of funny that I mentioned the A push and then they rotated over. It's good to see some A pushes, because if it's like checkmate, then you just see one bomb site being pushed consistently. So I like it when they switch it up a little bit here in the strategy side of things. But overall, now attacking is BBG, and now Wester has to answer back on the defensive side and potentially the series 4-2. But we'll see here now, the shot come in now. BBG, they do manage to get 2 first bloods right off the bat right there. And now already offensively attacking and planting the bomb at A.
Well, this has been a very fast round. Parasite managed to just get away with a life there. Ended up trying to have to back up towards basketball, but they went aggressive, and it went well for them. Parasite is running for his life. He's taken so much damage. Managed to win a kill as well. Still running Parasite. Not even worrying about that one, but pretty much sprinting away from Built by Gamers, who have brought this back to a 3 versus 3. Alan, your prediction of maybe around 11 is looking more and more likely. This is a very aggressive push out for it. I love this by Built by Gamers. You don't usually see a big stack come through mid like that because it is dangerous.
Yeah, and they managed to take down 2. That's why I was like, wait a minute, not 1, but 2. So yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. These teams are just so evenly matched, and it's just showing right now. But But now on the offensive side, now Wester, they're going to try to answer back, hopefully solidifying this plant. But the nades do come through, not before getting eaten up by that trophy. And it's going to be a little bit of the patient game from both teams here. Solidifying that laundry is so key, and Pentagram is just playing for information. He does get some tags onto Zaptius there, but they're slowly inching their way up towards that bomb site, and BBG is just trying to answer back just by playing patiently here.
So now they're trying to figure out exactly when this push is going to come in. Both teams trying to figure it out as well. Built by Game is taking more and more map control, though. They do have P5 in their back pocket. You can see they're playing around laundry, trying to figure this one out. Nobody is ready to blink yet. But it will be on Wester to make this move. They don't have a ton of time, so they're going to have to try and make it. They're now taking laundry control. If they can get it, they may end up planting this side, and they are going to do exactly that. They're planting it for laundry. The entire team is now going to shift laundry side as well. But Pentagram is going to see him. He wasn't able to stop it. He did stop it going down. That's absolutely massive for them as well. Built by Gamers have managed to collapse on Wester when they were the most vulnerable, and all of a sudden, they're all alone, and they've gone down. Wester looked like they had control and should have been able to walk away with that one, Ellen.
I'm still shaking my head, Bryce. I'm still shaking it. What? I absolutely. I really thought that Wester had that, but man, Kismet right here. Look at that, getting those kills on the flank and collapsing onto that point. It really looked like inching, towards that site that they did have control over. They were gonna get that off, but overall, BBG now making a statement, leading up 4-3 into the series. Now on the offensive side. So we'll take a look and see what they're going to push this time. And it looks like it's going to be towards that B-bomb site yet again. Maybe an aggressive push. Trophies are coming out now. Pander overlooking that laundry side, knowing that someone's, of course, going to be in there. Spot in power position for this map. And now, looks like the push comes in. Pentagram gets that kill onto Parasite again, solidifying that laundry. Hopefully being able to set up for this plant now. Pander getting that kill on Temp. Now they have potentially control to get the plant off now. This is not looking good if you are Wester here, Bryce.
It really is not. And Zap is going to try and get something going here, but not able to. Hamster's just going to try on the other side of the map, but it still leaves him in a 1 versus 3 with a nade. Almost flying onto him as well. Sees Kismet. That's not going to be good enough. Panda and Godorex looking to take him down, and eventually he will fall. It's now 5-3. Built by Gamers, 1 round away from shutting down this reverse sweep.
That's like their shipping name, Panderex. The duo, Panderex. I love it. But wow, BBG making a statement again. Pander 9-4. He's on a 3 streak right now. Godorex 4-5, but still, again, they're just playing so well as a team. And overall, now on the defensive side, they're really going to have to defend here, play some good defense. But Westers, they're back there kind of against the wall right now. If they lose this round, they do get knocked out. But Pentagram gets that kill onto Temp. Parasites trades it out, and now it's a 3 versus 3. If Wester loses this, they do have a chance to still come back and play. But BBG, it's looking like it might. I don't know, Bryce.
They are in a good position. Parasite's going to have to use all of his experience to do something here. Eventually ends up taking down Kismet, bringing it back to a 2 versus 2. This is much better for him. Realistically, he has to make a choice. Do you call for Hamza to come back over to you, or do you try and rotate to Hamza? It looks like Parasite is choosing neither of those and is actually making a move on the bomb site himself. 37 seconds left to go. And both teams playing peekaboo and throwing shoulders at every possible location. I think Parasite knows where he is. Godorex also knows where Parasite is, and Parasite is going to choose to go to Hamza. He's in trouble. He has to lay down behind the rock. Hamza's flying in there to try and save him, and they've managed to get out of here, as Parasite will now go to plan A. Panda now coming across as well. Hamza's read that one perfectly. Are they doubling back? They are. Parasite has played them like a fiddle and is now heading back to B, and it's going to be all on Godorex in a 1 versus 2.
Oh, that was such a smart play. Now Godorex, I'm so surprised. I really thought they had that. Godorex now in a 1 versus 2 situation. The bomb does go down. He's going to flank around to that laundry side, but Parasite and Hamza are anticipating that. They're already set up there. They realistically just need to let this clock run. 30 seconds left on the clock. Godorex back is against the wall now. The encounter and the engagement might come in, but Parasite slide canceling. It looks like he was just checking that, and he just takes that kill. Now, Wester's still down in the series, but very good round to win right there, especially since they had the first blood essentially. The trades came in, but they had the live advantage. Now Wester did manage to answer back. Now down only one round, tied up for round 11.
They are, and I'll tell you something, Parasite was the factor in this one on a 3 streak himself as well. Let's see whether or not they can make anything happen here. Billboard Game is on the attack. Parasite is going to go down. Godorex finds him straight away before he gets to get into ring. Hams is going to be up top Laundry as well, but they go down. There's a nade been flying in there at the same time. And already, Built by Gamers are looking to put this one to the dirt. There's only going to be a 2 versus 4, but they're all stacking into Laundry. It's going to be Kev alone, and he throws a nade, goes down, and that's an anti-climax, but it is a win. Built by Gamers take down Westar in a 3-2 last match thriller. We will be seeing another one of those beautiful games between New York and Westar. And obviously, a little bit of a revenge match coming through that one, but it will be Built by Gamers moving forward to our playoff games. Oh my goodness, Ton, welcome back. That was ridiculous.
Built by Gamers just don't do it easy, do they? I mean, they just cruise through the first 2 maps. Easy peasy. It was fine. I was thinking, my God, we're going to be done so fast here. This is going crazy how quickly we're getting through this game. All of a sudden, Wester start coming back. Not enough. I think, you know, if you're Built by Gamers in that one, you're like, okay, thank God we got it done. But that's going to be painful if you're Wester. It really does. Obviously, you drop in, you've got another chance. But the fact that you nearly brought it back and lose out in that fashion, it's a bit of a killer to the heart there, Brycey.
It really is, especially with a game that goes on that long and you fight back and forth and you have some good maps. You know, you're a pretty good team. You control it for a long way through, but S&D let them down, Evan.
It really did. It really did. And they try. It looked like they made it come back alive right there into that search and destroy there in the Miami, or excuse me, Miami Parasite. Bringing it back there on the raid, and it looked like they were going to come back and bring it to around 11, but overall BBG did such a good job on the defensive side and getting those first first bloods and overall just solidifying that point, that back laundry, and just overall they did such a good job.
They certainly did. Well, let's find out now how the bracket has gone down so far. Of course, as we were speaking about earlier, Westar took down Sublime's Academy 3-0 in their very first game. We are going to see that a little bit later on again in the rematch. Built by Gamers took down UT Crew 3-0 and just took down Westar to guarantee themselves into the playoffs. In elimination round 1, the game we didn't see, Sublime's Academy took down the UT Crew 3-0. UT Crew unfortunately not able to win a map today, but that means our next game and our game coming up is going to be a rematch. Westar versus Sublime's Academy. Sublime's Academy are going to want a little bit of revenge, Ton, for that first game.
Yeah, and obviously I think when you come into a series second time of asking the same day, you can sort of dictate your vetoes, etc. around this. You can have a look at the map picks and sort of say, right, okay, well, what went well before? Were we unlucky? Did we stick to something different? Sublime's Academy have got that information that they want, but so do the side of Wester, of course. They can look at it, see what went well. I can imagine we'll be playing a very different map set to what we had before, considering it was 3-0. I didn't get to catch all of it, but interested to see how it does play out nonetheless. It's never simple in Call of Duty, so who knows which way it's going to go.
Well, that's the beauty of it. We are going to find out. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this short break here on Challengers Elite Stage 2. Coming up, our last elimination game of the day. Sublime's Academy versus Westar. See you right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. This is stage 2 and we are in the North American region in our knockout bracket. One more game, one more chance. The winning team elevated to the playoffs and we see them tomorrow. The losing team eliminated from the Elite and they'll have to try again for stage 3. My name is Bryce. I'll be bringing you the action through this one, but more importantly, my colleagues are going to be doing so as well. Tun and Ellen. Tun, you're joining us once again. How are you?
I'm good, mate. You know what? Surprisingly, powering through. I'm doing quite well for this time of night. It only means that in 15 minutes, my head's going to be on the desk and Ellen's going to be solo casting. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I'm doing well, excited for what should be a really good game. Really good game.
All right, well, speaking of good game, we have got a lot to get through here, so we're going to go straight into the maps for this one. Checkmate Hardpoint, Moscow, Search and Destroy, Checkmate Control, Garrison Hardpoint, and Miami, Search and Destroy, and of course, the game we are watching, Subliners Academy versus West R. Ellen, talk to me about these two. This is a rematch.
Well, yeah, this is a rematch, and the first time around, Wester did 3-0 Subliners. Now, I saw a little bit of a banter there between Spart and Parasite about the QBZ being quote-unquote GA'd. So maybe there was just a little bit of a issue the first time around for Subliners, just in terms of going against Wester as far as role changes. I heard that Hydra was running a main AR and he's a sub player. So either which way, I know they were struggling first time around, but they have to be looking for revenge back onto this series. So hopping into this Checkmate Hardpoint now, this time not Garrison as it was the first time around. It's going to be interesting to see who closes it out on this one.
It certainly
here we
is.
go.
Well, it looks like the action is ready to go. And I will, of course, now be ducking out. I will let you two get on with casting this one, Tun and Ellen.
Thank you. I just want to rid of you as soon as possible, Bryce. You know how it is. We move into this game, Wester against Subliners Academy. And of course, as mentioned, Ellen, this game beforehand, Wester very much coming out on top. 3-0. Things look convincing, but as we mentioned before the break, vetoes can change when it comes to changing the map. So that's what the Subliners Academy want to do. I see Hydra with the SMG in his hands. I'm a happy, happy man. The French phenom, my first chance of casting him since he moved over towards the other side of the Atlantic. Super excited to see if this Subliners Academy team can make a game out of it here against Wester.
And that's funny that you say that, because Hydra apparently was running the main AR last time around, and having an AR and a sub player's dream, it's so nice to see Hydra with a sub in hand now. Subliners leading this time around 23-5, and the rotations are going to slowly start to come in here for the side of Subliners. They already actually are set up on that P2 kill, but Wester, can they answer back? They're going to have to get these rotational kills. Subliners Academy still has the spawn back here now, and the push is going to come through.
Academy setting up Parasite on the 5-kill streak, though, on the rotation over towards P2. It's a good time to get it done. Plenty of time to be had here, but a couple of kills going to come in for Subliners Academy and make that 3. Hamza now, just playing an awkward little spot. One that we do often see players just try and position themselves. And this shot's going to come through there. Subliners Academy will keep a hold of the spawns, though, as Hamza is then flushed out. Points still ticking in their favor. Very much Kriegs and 7-4U still in the offing here. So I'm going to find 1 kill. This has been a really good hold by Subliners Academy. They're going to have to start thinking about that rotation over towards P3. Wester just unable to break through. Good shots by Saints. Proloot will clean that one up. We rotate over towards P3. Zap finding the kills on the exit of P2. And it's a nice spot for Wester to be in, although Subliners Academy with a very, very solid lead.
Very convincing for Subliners Academy to have that lead there. But now, as we head over to that rotational hill towards the P3 underneath the plane, Wester has control over it now, getting that time, and the push is slowly going to start to come in from Subliners, but Wester does manage to get those 2 now. Proloot trying to answer back here. A couple shots into Temp, but he does run away with his life now. Proloot runs away with his. He's going to try to stay alive, and hopefully his team claps onto this hill. But again, Wester does manage to get those kills. Now that's 3 down. Now Temp trying to answer back, make a statement here in the Call of Duty Challenge Stage 2, and he gets that kill on Saints now, solidifying that push, trying to push him back here, be a little bit on the aggressive side, but he does get taken out by Proloot. Now Hamza on this point, 10 seconds left remain on this hill, and now they have to start thinking about that rotation towards that long A street here, and looks like Parasite's already on it. He does get that kill on Saints, but now he's going to have to enter back here with Spart, who's already on to the hill.
Well, here we go. Let's see what Temp can do, and he's one of those players that, I mean, for some it was a surprise to see him drop from 100C. And he really has been a mainstay in the pro scene for quite a number of years, but to find himself now dropped down to the challenger side, not only is it an area for players like Zap and co to really prove themselves, not that he needs to, he has done year on year, but for Temp, it's a case of him having to prove himself again. Drop down from that 100T roster really does need to come out and just keep things warm. You know, he's just on the bench, he could be subbed back in any time. But he wants to go out and do well in the challenger scene as well, just to keep it up, really. That's all he needs to do. Keep up his gameplay at an elevated level. For players like Hydra, it's his big opportunity as he makes his way over towards the States to try and put a mark on the international scene. So far, so good for him. 12-9, must be flexing with the Krig out now. He's going to go down on this rotation over towards P5. Wester with the lead. In a good spot here to lock in a good amount of time. Some playing control. They're going to get that from Temp with 3 in a row, 15-9 out of him. And we know how crucial playing control can be, Ellen.
That's correct. Now Temp again answering that. He gets a couple shots into their Prelude, and he does manage to take him out. Now he does get traded out by Saints, but overall Wester looking good now. The lead change 109 to 73. They have control over to this Wood Hill here now with 24 seconds left on the clock. Gonna slowly start to see that plane push here back to that P1 hill, but on the side of Sublighters Academy, they don't want to give up to that. They don't want to give up that plane hill. So overall, it doesn't look like they're too much pushing onto that point, just giving Wester the rest of the remaining time of that scrap. And now Saints trying to hold this angle here, hopefully potentially getting a couple of kills and solidifying the more hill time for his team. Now Spart answers back with the 2 on Parasite and Temp. That is something that you want to do here in the Call of Duty Elite Challenger Stage 2, especially going against people who were in the CPL, and he gets the third. He gets the third. Spart's looking like he wants to get picked up now. And now Subliners Academy, although they are down, they do have control over this hill now. 34 seconds left remain, and now they're going to have to start thinking about that P2 rotation towards that, excuse me, the blue side. Blue crate, yellow crate, if you will.
And it's a shame for the Subliners Academy because, you know, they set themselves up so well for that rotation over towards P2, but it seems to have fallen apart for the last few seconds. Temp getting aggressive on Hydra. Still just trying to fight for this scrap, but his team are set up for this P2 rotation. I'm curious to see if they are still going to spawn at the back. They do so. Through the front door, though, comes Subliners Academy. Big couple of kills about to come up here, which will dictate how this map, or how this hill goes specifically. Temp and Hamza, though, will find the first 2 to slow Subliners Academy down. Spot through the middle, though. He's going to break this one completely open. Needs a bit of help from his teammates as well, but the information is there for him to find the kills. There's one. Can he find another on a Temp? Not quite. With Temp staying alive at the back, the rest of the team still spawning here, but Subliners Academy through the front will start to find the kills and ultimately the points because of it. Still the spawns there for Wester towards the back, but Subliners Academy in from the front here, Ellen.
Yeah, that's correct. And such, I just want to point out how smart that Saints played that, because he stayed alive in the back and he got that kill on this Parasite. Oof, good kills there from Spart. He manages to take down 3 and solidify that time there, now being aggressive in through the base. But I just wanted to point out the fact that Saints stayed alive back there, and he caused the split spawn. So essentially, Subliners Academy, they were playing that through the front, and Wester was trying to wait for their teammates because they did spawn out. So it was a 2-2 situation, but overall, Subliners Academy played for the front. They got those kills, they got control, and now leading into this underneath the plane hill at P3. Again, they still have control here, and it's hard when you got them playing like that. But again, close deficit, 150 to 170 now. Subliners change again
Spart.
in terms of that. But Spart, yes, Chris, Spart
He's feeling it. My goodness.
Oh my gosh, he wants this. He's definitely coming for revenge now. 24-9 from him on a 5 streak here, Ton.
He's just been popping off every single time We've jumped on board. Look at the damage coming out with the Krieg. Fantastic work by Sparta. He is going to be taken down, though. Temp up top playing. Will cause issue there. 13 and 15 for Prolude. He'll be wanting to get a few more engagements with this SMG. Parasite putting the shots in. He could do with win this gunfight, or at least distracting his Parasite. Now will find one. Should get closed out. And does so. Kills just about coming in for Subliners Academy. Really good stuff from them to swing this one around. The second rotation has been very, very solid from them, but looking towards P4, I should say. They're set up nicely for this as well. They can just about end it here as well here, Ellen, and they'll be looking to do so. I think it'll be quite hard to do on P4, but Wester need to break through. They need to stop them picking up all these points.
30 seconds left on the clock now. Like you said, Wester, they're going to have to fly into this because this essentially, the Wetters Academy, very close to winning off of this hill, and they're doing a good job of just that. Now Hydra staying alive onto the point. He has his help there from Saints, who just got those kills onto the back. Now they're going to slowly start to rotate towards that new point. If you look at number 5 there, Spart already on that early rotation onto the next kill now. Yep. Saints, he does die, but it's okay because Subliners Academy still have that back spawn, and you can see the flood start to come through from the side of Wester. Zaptius in the back behind them. They're going to anticipate this. Doesn't look like... it looks like he saw Hydra up there, but again, the help from Subliners Academy on the trades, it was just perfect there and now. They still have the spawns, and they can close it out right here, right now on this wood hill.
Big fights going on towards the back. Hydra's actually managed to escape through momentarily. Big fights going on the hill. Not where you want the Krieg, though, if you're Hydra. Zap now pushing this out. Best thing you can do here for Wester is just stay alive. They do have a good chance to come back into this one. All these points on the board would put them in a really nice spot, but it's going to be harder said than done. Not going to happen there, and Wester now going to be forced out. Subliners Academy only a few away from winning this one outright, and it's going to put them in a really nice spot in this series. Have they went a step further than they were able to in the first one? Yes, they have. That's 1-0 for the Subliners Academy now. Puts them in the lead in this series, and the winner will go on to the playoffs tomorrow and guarantee their spot in Elite Challengers in the next season. But Spot, he was a huge reason as to why they win map number 1. Just play after play after play out of this young man. Big game out of him. Big game out of the Subliners Academy.
Definitely, and in terms of the slaying power, like he was just getting those important kills, right? Getting the rotational kills, playing their life, valuing your life in when even if you're alive in the spawn, and let's say your team isn't there. I think a couple of times Saints did it, Spart did it. So even though they essentially didn't have their teammates there, they played and valued their life, stayed alive, waited for the collapse to come in, got those key kills, and like you said, just with Spart going off right there, it was such good plays from him, and that's just something that you want to do here in the Elite Challenges Stage 2. Absolutely good stuff from Subliners Academy. Now they flipped the script. Before, it was Buster that was up, and now it's Subliners Academy. So hopefully whatever they learned from playing them the first time around, they applied it right here into this game.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you have to look at the change of map, of course. We will be playing Garrison second time round. And just to go through the scoreline of the previous game, if anybody at home didn't see it, it was a 250-182 win for Wester on Hardpoint. Garrison, Search and Destroy in Moscow, which is what we're going to be going to next as well, was only a 6-5 win for Wester on that one. Then a 3-1 win on Control Checkmate, which is what we will be heading to. So maps 2 and 3, the exact same as what we see in the first series, which doesn't surprise me. It's a relatively close scoreline. The 3-1 is maybe something you could question, but there's only 3 control maps, so there's only so much of it you can play. And then we will, of course, see 2 different maps towards the back end. It's actually, going to be Hardpoint, Garrison, S&D, Miami. So it's actually a relatively similar map pool outside of the first map, realistically. So let's see what we're going to see now from the Subliners Academy. Is the Search and Destroy coming up? They know it was so close last time round. This has the potential for me, Ellen, to go to a map number 5. Both these two teams have been playing well on the day. Subliners Academy, yes, okay, you say they lost that one 3-0 in the first game. They come back, they bounce back quickly up against UT Crew with a 3-0 win of their own. Win map number 1 here. It's really series on the line as we go into the Moscow Search and Destroy.
Yeah, Subliners Academy, they're just looking so strong just from that win from UT Crew now into this. And like you said, we could potentially see a map 5 right here, but Overall, with this Moscow, last time it was 6-5 in favor of Wester. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Subletters Academy went back and they looked at their mistakes and they said, okay, we need to do this, this, and this, and maybe we'll see a complete blowout. But maybe we won't. Maybe the Wester did the same thing. Either which way, I believe that if Subletters Academy do win this here, though, it's going to be hard for Wester to come back with that momentum factor, but it's still doable, right? You got players on the team that have been playing for a very long time, and 2 people who were in the Pro League. You got Parasite, and of course 100T, like you said, Temp, who just came from that. You don't necessarily understand why, but regardless, you have players with experience that have been in this situation before and still can bring it back. Very doable.
Yeah.
But it's still it's very hard to do. Very hard.
Yeah, look, I mean, these two have battled quite a lot as of recent. Of course, NYSL getting the better of things on the Challengers Cup at the weekend, so they'll be feeling nice. And, a lot of people have sort of mentioned the QBZ and what's been going on in that respect. And has it made a difference to NYSL as Hydra was having such success with it? Have NYSL got themselves the right roles for all their teammates right now? I think a lot of the European fans obviously seeing Hydra and how well he did with the 7-4U across the European Challengers Elite side of things for the past couple of months are sort of questioning why he's on that AR role. Is just fitting in better? Is he just a do-it-all kind of player? Who knows? Both of them have questions around them. Some of these teams are being sort of thrown together at the last minute. Of course, Temp, Parasite, playing in the league not that long ago. So you look at a lot of these players, it's kind of a put together squad on a couple of sides of things. Obviously, it's interesting to see the dynamic of it, though. As mentioned, it's one of those things they need to prove themselves. It's hard to do, but for players like Temp, it's a different scenario for him. He's going to prove himself to get himself back on that team, back on that 100T lineup, and instead of players that come through from Challengers, then I said you've got players like Hydra, who has to prove himself to say that he's playing well enough to get into a team like Subliners Academy. It's just so much on the line. It feels like the Path to Pro system that has been introduced is really alive and kicking at this moment in time. These NA-sided Challenger teams have that path through very, very easily, especially with everything being online. Let's see if they can continue to impress here. Subliners Academy 1-0 up in this series.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct about that. It's such a different system than what we're, essentially used to, and this is the time to shine. And a lot of players, there's just so many, like Bryce said earlier, there's just so many people. There's such a big cesspool of players that are just so good. So it's just so hard to determine and tell. But right here, jumping into this search and destroy on the offensive side, it looks like Wester is going to play a little bit more aggressive towards that B site now. It looks like they're pushing into that point. Maybe doing a little fakey, making the Subletters Academy think they're going to be planning A, but now looks like Hamza is going to get that plant off here, and all players are alive. So now if the action does happen, looks like it's going to slowly happen now. They're inching their way towards this point. It'll be interesting to see how the Subletters Academy retake this, but now Spark gets that first blood onto Temp. Now, leaving them in a better situation. 26 seconds left on the clock here, Ton.
It's a big win for Hamza out wide. Oh, Hydra with the Milano as well, getting aggressive. Hamza doing his best, though, and all of a sudden it's Hydra in a 1 versus 2. Oh, Milano not quite having the kill time there. The Parasite, Hamza's not going to challenge, but the time just not on Hydra's side. Wester closed that one out for the 1v1 win. But I think that could have been a lot cleaner. You see that first kill that's going to come through on Temp. You're not going to get a chance to see it just now, but it got done very, very easily from an angle that I really should have been watching. It was the push through this window that Hydra's do now. And as well to get the second gunfight here with that Milano. As mentioned, the buffs coming in today have made it very, very viable. I'm not quite sure if I personally see it there as with the 7-4U yet. Don't know, it's just the rate of fire is just a little bit slow for my personal taste, but we are seeing some very good players get it under their belts, get some practice with it. Seems powerful enough, but is the 7-4U still just the meta SMG? I'm sure we'll find out in a few days once everyone's had their tests going, but nonetheless, Wester 1-0 here, Alan.
Yeah, and I just want to point out too, Hamza again, I've seen him do that twice now where he just valued his life and let that clock run. So good stuff for him for not over challenging and eventually allowing Spart to get the defense. But now answering back Western 1-0 in the series. Parasite with that first blood. Hamza gets that kill onto Hydra. Now Spart trying to answer back. Looks like they're gonna rotate over towards that the B site, and Spart gets that kill on Hamza now. Parasite just running away with a little fraction of his life here now. And the bomb site is still essentially is going over towards B. I thought we were going to see maybe a rotate towards A, but Spart's getting those kills. He gets a 2-piece. Can Prolute get the third? And he does. The kills just drop just like that. And Subliners Academy, it was looking like a scary situation there for just a second, but Spart, he's been popping off the series ton. Absolutely good stuff from him there on that 2-piece in the back.
Time and time again, he's been popping off. It's absolutely ridiculous from Spart. It's around on the board here for NYSL Academy. For them, I mean, if they could take a 2-0 lead here, how different of a situation would we be in compared to what happened in the first game? Just to remind any of you guys who aren't just tuning in right now, West have won that one 3-0. Subliners Academy now 1-0, of course. 1-1 in the Search and Destroy here. But just another thing to mention here, of course, we've been talking about these challenger teams and how many of these players have been in the league even this year. But I mean, I think Easy Mac, one of the phase analysts, pumping out this info. I think, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 14 or 15 players who have previously been in either Pro League or franchise teams are currently competing just in the North American side of things. It's crazy. They're placing high as well. It's nice to see some good players continuing the business. Saints is one of them. He's found 2. Is he able to find the 3rd? Not quite, but Zap finds 2. He's one of them who's been at the top. Can't quite get it done in the 1v4. But the caliber of player across the board, Ellen, is so high in the NA challenges and in Europe, of course. There's plenty of fine players up there. Hydra can't quite get the trade here, and the best player, Zap, finds 2, but cannot find the 3rd and 4th. And as said, the caliber is high. Very, very high at the moment. That's why we're seeing games go back and forth in different ways. These players know how to adapt in tough situations. That's why Subliners Academy now find themselves up in the series and up in the Search and Destroy.
That's a good point that you point out there, Ton. 15 players, that's a lot. North America is definitely stacked in terms of that, and that's why some of these games, it's like Bryce said earlier, a tale of 2 teams, right? First time around, Wester 3-0'd. Now this time around, Subliners Academy is up 1-0, but overall, they are playing the Search and Destroy in the fashion of that. And now Prolute, we're hopping on board with him. He does get a couple shots there, manages to get away with his life. And the slow push, it's just a kind of a little bit of a waiting game here now. And I think Wester is anticipating that rotation push to be in Hamza. He does get that kill. First blood down on Spart. Now holding this back police, but Subliners Academy, it looks like they're going to slowly start to rotate over towards A. And I think Wester's kind of getting that a little bit of that information. Like you said, these players, they're top caliber, so they can read these plays so fast. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Fast rotation in from Subliners Academy, but also a fast rotation in from Wester. Now, Prolute takes out Zap. He gets traded out by Temp. Now, 20 seconds left remain on this clock here. Saints gets the trade on Hamza, and this is huge now. 1 versus 1. The 2 COD veterans, Saints versus Parasite. 11 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is down. Saints does need to get a plan off here. It's not looking likely. He has to find the kill, and he might actually find it, but no, Parasite playing it patiently, waiting in that corner there. Now, tied in the series, 2-2. Wester take that one there, Ton.
Well played by Wester. Parasite must win that gunfight. Does so. Puts Saints in an awkward position. I think Saints there, he pushes through, he goes for the kill, and wraps back through the mid-map, expecting just the players to have to come away to try and find him. But in that situation specifically, it would have been better if he pushed through. I know hindsight is 2020, but one of those situations where the wrong call was made by Saints there, if you'd went for the trade, then that would have worked out. But I understand the theory behind the other player. Just didn't work out in his favor. So Subliners Academy set up heavy on the A defensive side of things. Wester holding their attack for now.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of playing patiently, waiting for playing for information here. just kind of playing for a pick. That's very common in search and destroy. You don't necessarily want to keep flying to a bomb site, but overall they play for information, maybe do a fake plant too, maybe Parasite peeking over there at the A site makes Sublighter Academy think that, hey, we see somebody over here, they might be playing an A push, but overall, if you could see, the Wester is making their way towards B. You have Proloot checking that, and Hydra here stacking up. He does get a couple shots into Parasite, but overall, Parasite's just distracting. Now the bomb is going down. Wester looks like they're going to get this plan off now. Sublighters Academy kind of scrambling over, rotation over towards that B site. Confusion definitely came in right there, Ton.
Nonetheless, the bomb is down, and Sublighters Academy going to have to retake this one. Probably just straight through the front door. Temp's going to fall down. Zap, is he the second one behind him? Yes, he is. Sparta's there to help out. Hamza's going to be able to answer back with one, but the trade should surely come through. Parasite left in a 1 versus 2 was a technical 1v3. Hydra off the bomb to help Proloot secure another kill. It's another round over towards Subliners Academy. They'd get the right thing done. The aggression out of Proloot there on that retake. 3-2 to them. Solid round out of the Academy. They really take that one with ease. If anything here, Ellen, you expect maybe Wester to be set up a little better for this.
Yeah, I did essentially, but maybe Sublighters Academy, I don't know exactly their strategies, but maybe they played for the retake in a sense, you know, maybe they did something to throw them off in that fashion, because I have teams that have done that essentially. Give up that bomb site, let's stack this site, and then we'll just play for the retake. So either which way, Sublighters Academy did a very good job at breaking that hold and overall leading up the series now 3-1, and hopping on board here with Parasite. He's going to try to play it defensively here street side, but overall Sublighters Academy, they're going to inch their way towards that B site, but they're slowly inching, and they're going to have to worry about Parasite here in the back to stop the push. And the rest of the team, because it looks like now Wester rotated over really quickly, anticipating that. And Hamza does get that first blood. Now it's going to be the question, do they play this or do they rotate back over towards that A site here, Ton? Surely
they're not going to get away with this. Oh my god. And I think if you're Temp in this scenario, you're still not in a bad spot here. Yes, you haven't really been juked, but you know, you've just taken maybe the wrong line, but that's exactly what you can do. You can turn that one back around, and then he just backs off. If you're Proloot, you got the bomb, you go, where the hell do I go here? Teammate nowhere near. This should be around over to Wester, but my god, that's going to turn it around potentially. Now on 1 versus 2, make that a 2 versus 0 as Wester get the round win. And I really like that rotation coming out of Subliners Academy, but I really like that play from Temp. He was a little bit unfortunate not to get the timing when they did initially rotate, but it keeps him alive. The information starts to be gained because they don't see anybody in and around B. He can rotate, have a look, one easy kill, back on down. Bomb planter then really is stuck with plenty of information to where the players are, but the problem is they're all over the map, and it's a difficult situation to move yourself out of. 3-3 now. Subliners Academy faltering a little bit in these past couple of rounds. Wester back into it.
Yeah, that was definitely a good position here, and it looks like they're kind of doing the same thing. Parasite playing for information, but overall, I did like that play from Temp. Like you said, he stayed in a position to where he can watch the flank, and he can also watch the S keys. And then overall, he caught somebody. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Spart. Just on the pinch there in the flank, and he just shot him, got him, and it was just a beautiful plays from him. Smart plays all around from both teams, but overall now. That being said, Wester has this bomb site, and instead of actually going towards B and going for the plant, they're going to actually work their way around and get control of their spawn. Now Sublighters Academy having to answer back on this, anticipate that.
I like this.
Now Spart knows it's going to go down here into their spawn.
Because if you're Subliners Academy, you don't set yourself up inside a police station, do you? You don't expect to push around that way. And I actually like the play from them as well. They've just said, right, well, screw this. Let's get the hell out of here. But, well, if you're Saints, you didn't get the memo on that one. Spartan Proloot kind of leave them to the wolves there. Bomb down. It's a 4v2 scenario. I love that attack from Wester. So smartly done. Proloot now in 1 versus 4. 1 versus 2 all of a sudden. Hold on. Playing this one well, 35 seconds. I tell you what, he's got time on his side here. This is achievable. Oh, not when Zap is going to find the gunny there. Crazy round. Wester, I love that push out of them all the way down Long Street. If you're NYSL, you ain't expecting 3 men in and around the bus towards the back are you by any stretch of the imagination. And they try to get out there, Ellen. Not enough room to do so. And all of a sudden, they're 4-3 down.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I don't know if they completely gave that up, Subliners Academy, because normally I know at least on the side of Wester they have somebody watching that street. But overall, 3 players there. That was very smart coming in from them. Now on the aggressive side, I feel like we're going to see an aggressive A push here coming in from Subliners Academy, and it looks like just that. But Temp manages to take down Spart there in the mid-map area. And overall, they're going to get that bomb down now. Hydra watching the flank, Proloot getting the plant down, and it looks like they're watching that mid Eskies as well. So overall, they could potentially hold this down here, but 37 seconds left remain on the clock. And the push is slowly going to start to come in from Wester, and there's
slowly. I mean, they've thrown themselves out. Look at that. This is going to be such a hard defense, but Hydra could be the key here. All the way around behind. Has he got bad timing? No, he's got good timing. He needs to stay alive here, though. Temp going to challenge. Proloot finds 2. Proloot now. Is he going to expect it coming out of Temp? Let's find out in a second. Challenges up. Has he got time? Just about. I tell you what, he is a button away from securing that defuse. 4-4. Proloot with 3. We'll see 2 of them here as well. There's Parasite. There's Zap. Expects maybe the push round, but Temp at this time already defusing. Hasn't seen the bomb site in around 8 seconds or so. Best check it. Just missed a bullet there as well. If he misses another, I'd argue that Wester are 5-3 up, but as it goes, it's 4-4. What a game of search this has been.
What a game indeed. That was so close. Temp almost had that. It was just a sliver away, but good stuff coming in from them. It just seemed like when they were slowly pushing in towards that A side, it just looked like they were kind of timid, checking the corners, obviously. But overall, good stuff from Subliners now. And again, both of these teams are just so, I feel like they're just so evenly matched.
I mean, Proloot's 11-4.
Yeah. Between him and Spart, they've been going off. Taking turns going off, that's for sure. But
Saints in a bit of a difficult spot. Yeah, no trophy down initially, and he's going to take a lot of damage, and that's info for Wester. Big round. Spart's going to be the first one to find it, though. He just goes up the Eskies and finds the kill. Gets aggressive, which is just a bit crazy. Throws his life away a little bit. Now it's 2 versus 3 for Subliners Academy. Not what you want to see. Hamza there, going to be covering this. Hydra's now in a bad spot. The rest of his team are with him here on Eskies, and we'll have to back on down. And they probably do the right thing by giving up the site there, Ellen. Going for the 2v3 retake. Time on their side here, though.
Maybe they tried to fake you, yeah.
Oh, that's massive. There's the bomb carrier. So now a 2 versus 2. That bomb's going to be going down momentarily. It's a 1v2. Temp needs to defend. They go for the push. Zap's going to go down, but as the trade's going to come in from Temp, it's a 1v2. Plays it so well. They both go the same direction. The 7 for you from there. We're going to get to see it from his angle, and the best player. There's one. There's the second.
Ooh.
And just chooses his gunfight so well. 1 round away from Wester tying things up here in the series.
Now, that was just Temp has just been in such of those clutch situations to where he can get key kills and double kills, and that's just he played that so smart. Now it's just I can potentially see around 11 here, ton. It's gonna be so close, but either which way, nonetheless, the aggression's gonna come in from the side of Subliners Academy, but also from Wester. It looks like Zapti is there, caught on that head glitch. He does get naded, but no shots exactly connect here. Now both teams just kind of playing patiently. Gonna be interesting to see if maybe we see a wrap towards B, but either way, 57 seconds left on the clock. I don't know, ton. This could go either way.
Loads of time.
Loads of time.
First kill's massive. Zap trying his best now just to stay alive, and he's done so long enough for Parasite to find a kill spot. Getting aggressive as it seems, but you got to check this side. Really big kill. Hamza has to find something there, but they need to get rid of Zap, who's in and around behind. This is such an awkward spot for Subliners Academy. Parasite will find another in the middle. That's a huge kill by Saints. 2v2. Proloot and Saints going up against Parasite and Temp. just in awkward spots now. Maybe a trade going to come out as Prologue goes for the plant on the wrong side. They know Parasite's behind. They know exactly where Saints is. Saints is dead. Wester are tying things up here in the series 6-4 in the search and destroy. And that is just so well played. I think it's the fact that they stay alive in and around the wall, in and around it. It's such a difficult spot. If you don't get rid of them, you're on the bomb site. You're being pinned in from a couple of different angles. And I think if you're Wester in that situation, you play that bomb site fantastically. They just take their time. They're in and out. They're causing issues. Just providing info to Subliners Academy that they can overthink with. And it's such a hard spot for the Academy to then be in to do something with that one apiece. And a thoroughly well played search and destroy by both teams. But Wester will come out on top. One apiece here now, Ellen. Having a clue. Having a clue which way this one's going. Not a Scooby, as I would say. Not a clue.
I agree. That was just looking very convincing on the side of Subliners Academy for them to take that map. But overall, there was a lot of important plays that Temp had made to clutch some of those rounds. And just...
I mean... It was that moment in that very last round there where the player on Subliners Academy, I forget specifically who it was, but he has to plant on the Wester spawn side to then, because of all the information that's coming from around behind, he presumes that everybody behind is going to be the one pushing there, so they can't plant on Eski's side, has to plant on the spawn side of Wester, and it puts you in a bad spot. And then ultimately Temp is there ready and waiting, and that's all from the pressure that Wester are putting in from different angles.
Right. And oh man, it was Proloot who went who was 11-4 or at one point it was Proloot, right?
It was Proloot. Proloot was going massive.
Yeah. So like just he was going massive for Subliners Academy. So I can't imagine how they're feeling off of that loss, but overall it's just I was kind of confused by that plant too. Like you said, I thought they were gonna plant it on the other side, not exactly the Wester. But
I think we may get to see it here because Saints makes that kill, but it's because all the information's coming through. Temp's there. There's been so many kills in and around, like escalators, etc., etc. Parasite causing issues there, so they don't want to plant Aski side because they think Parasite's there, but they haven't cleared out front. Right. Temp's there ready and waiting. It's an awkward situation to be in, but it's because Wester played it so well. So fantastically played by them. There's a couple of really nice strats coming out from the S&D side of things that maybe we'll see more of as time does go on. And while we will be heading into Checkmate Control in just a second, previously in this series, this was played as the Control map, Ellen. It was a 3-1 win for Wester in that one. Are they going to be able to do the same thing here, though? Is the wind in their sails?
I don't know. It's hard to say because, you know, in Checkmate, they won this first time around on Control, but in terms of Hardpoint, I know, Subliners Academy, they were looking strong on this map, but either which way, it's a different game mode. You never know how it could go. But you know what? Enough about that. Let's just get started into the game because I know you guys are just excited as I am. Here on the offensive side, we have Wester attacking, and Subliners Academy answered back with 2 kills there on the defensive aspect, but Zaptius answered back. He's on the A site, hopefully managing to get a tick here, but not before getting traded out by Spart. And overall, defensive plays coming in from the Subliners Academy is looking pretty strong right here now, and we should slowly start to see them inch their way up into their spawn and be aggressive.
Yeah, defense is usually king when it comes to Checkmate. Specifically on Control, at least anyway. Spot unable to find Parasite down low. It's all about playing Control here, though. You consistently see players fighting it out for it. Hydra with the Krug now. Let's have a little bit of company with Saints here, but up close and personal with a 7-4U inside the plane is exactly where you want to be. Parasite finding 2 there. Hamza able to find 1 at the spot as well. It's looking like a nice retake for Wester here, as Subliners Academy found themselves in a good spot, but all of a sudden, things start making their moves over towards Wester. It's an ever slightly live lead here for Subliners Academy, but we'll not be thinking about that for too long, although a couple of kills now coming on through make that a few. Hamza's the only one to answer back, and Wester just can't get purchase here. We can find a couple of kills, but that's it. Subliners Academy always there to trade.
Yeah, definitely good first round from them. 9 seconds left on the clock, though. Wester would have potentially answered back, but it's really hard when you have them slaying out as they are. Spart already 7-3. Now, it looks like they are going to take that round, leading this 1-0. And overall, wow. That was kind of fast, I feel like.
That's a huge defensive round. It's the fact that they don't even let them even have a sniff at it, do they? Really, really well played. And, you know, look, we know that the defensive side is typically stronger on Checkmate when it comes to control. When it comes to S&D as well, I suppose. But still, that was convincing. A really good start by Sublime Academy. They always have somebody popping off. 7 and 3 out of spot. Really, really fantastic performance so far from him here. As we head into round number 2 of the control. Brycey, I believe you're tagging yourself in here.
I am in, just like they are on this game. And looking forward to bringing you a little bit of the action with this one, Ton. And yeah, it's been a pretty interesting game so far. Of course, we were kind of wondering what was going to happen, obviously, coming off the back
that S&D was
earlier on.
Great, by the way. Yeah, it was so good. It was strats left and right. It was fantastic to watch. Very high level.
Yeah, it really was. And obviously, both these teams know just how much this means for each other. Obviously, you know, that first game means absolutely nothing if you don't win the second one here as well. Saints aiming up for them as well. You can see Subliners trying to get themselves in a really good position here to try and make something work. They know they need to break out and try to make a move here, but a heavy stack coming in from Wester.
Yep, really heavy stack. Difficult for anything to be done over towards the A side now. Parasite going to go down below, though. Enemy making the push over towards B, potentially. Smart going to find a kill here over towards the A side, though, and they really want to get this going just to get a little bit of extra time coming on through. Parasite with the shots. Can't quite find them. Smart is there. These next couple of kills are crucial. Temp can only find one, and the trades go in the favor of Subliners Academy, but they need to do something with it. Zap with playing control, and nobody from Subliners Academy has made the push up here, and all of a sudden it's fish in a barrel down low. The kills don't go their way. Those Subliners Academy are going to hold on here and should capture it.
They certainly shouldn't. That's a big thing for them as well, right? They needed this with a few seconds coming in, but it is going to be worth the challenge. The West Star are going to try and come in here. They know they can end this one here. What now? Zap flying in. Tries to get us one as well, and so does Temp. They manages to combine together with Parasite and shut it down. Wester will get that round in the bag. You thought maybe Subliners has done just enough, but Wester had it in, you know, they had the opportunity realistically in that scenario with 4.7 seconds left on the clock. It's worth the punt. It's worth throwing away a couple of lives to see if you can end the game, and it worked out for them.
100%. Really well played by the Wester side to make sure they get that retake in. One apiece now, where we haven't seen any points captured so far at all. And the team able to even have any success on the attack whatsoever. Defense is very much being king here. Which leads to the question of how did it end up being 3-1 to Wester previously with this is the way that teams are defending.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it can be a very momentum-filled map, right? And the reason for it is the way this map is laid out from both sides. You're able to get the spawn traps in very, very easily. It's easier if you're on the defensive side because you can push up P2. And as soon as you push up P2, you push that spawn towards blue. And, well, funny enough, Hydra's also pushing up into blue, right? So this is going to end up spawning them as far back as possible. So what they've then got to do, not only do they have to dig these players out, but if you move into any open ground, there are plenty of chest high covers. There are plenty of angles you can be picked from. Already, they've done a great job to not let that happen here. West Tower have managed to get control back into the plane. Now moving up, Sutherland trying to fight. There's a huge fight going down for it as well as they try to get onto A at the same time. Saint is massive from them. He should be able to shut down a little bit of reinforcements coming through from as well. But more kills flying around in this map with both teams trading out and not making it clean.
Probably try to play the angle there on Hamza. He pushes his way up. And it hasn't been clean by any stretch of the imagination. We've got some progress today here, though, from Wester. We might see a point actually be captured at this point. Zeb and Parasite combining well, but as you said, it's been scrappy. There's just been a single player there to find that final kill. That's a massive one from Prolude as well. It's going to put themselves in a good spot to try and reclaim this from Wester now, who are capturing and getting close to that second tick. But once again, the kills coming on through. It's scrappy. It just doesn't make sense. Some of the pushes that are coming on through the defensive side, just making the pushes where you wouldn't expect and holding on where they can. Zap finds 2, but these kills go over to Prolude, who's found 5 in a row. The It should surely be another defensive round going over towards the Subliners Academy, but there may be one more breakthrough here with Parasite on B.
Well, Parasite, play his life, trying to make sure he stays out of this one as well. And you see, it's slightly almost foul. Eventually ends up pushing forward and gets punished for it. But they desperately need some time now as well. Temp under the gun. Hydra is going to be back. Ali, he knows Prolute's next to him as well. He just doesn't have enough support here to do anything for it. Zap tries to make a play at the same time, and nothing is going to happen for him well. And it's defense once again. The Subliners Academy will now go up 2-1 in this one, and they are going to try and hold it. Here's the thing, like I said before, right? Defense on this map, it's so difficult. The problem so many people have, and don't get me wrong, this is not something that's easily solved, is if you have a few bad runs, if you have a few bad attacks, maybe you die on your respawn because they've pushed up and they've got you straight off it because you're trying to get back into the map, you end up having to go in piecemeal. And as soon as that happens on this map, it's nearly impossible. There are too many places to get shot from. You can't get playing control. It's an absolute nightmare. A little bit of a different story when it comes to B, but the same thing can happen, right? You end up going down P2, and players just end up spawning you out. And it's very easy to manipulate the spawns on this one. Pretty much a little bit like Garrison. But here's now what they're going to try and do. This time around, we're going to see whether or not it is going to be West Art who can actually end up pushing this spawn trap in as well. You see Zap going into tunnel here, trying to hold them down through tube, and he is going to end up trying to fly out, but that's already a few good kills coming from Subliners, and they should be able to try and use this to push back out.
Wester do answer back, but seems as if Subliners happy to push on the other side of the map. It's a B-sided push nonetheless. Hydra at 15 and 11. As a European, it's just typical of me to try and keep an eye on his performance. So far, so good, though. I mean, we were invested. Come on.
I can understand what you're coming from. I think that the more important thing here is that you say that Europeans are invested. I think if you're a Subliner fan, then you're way more invested because he has obviously been kind of hailed as this new generation of talent coming through. Obviously, New York are doing well at the moment. But people are keeping an eye out to see whether or not he is ready to replace any of those core members that have been doing well so far. And speaking of doing well, you know, you are right. He is doing here 20 objectives, 17 and 13 in this game alone. Even with the role change and traveling across and playing with a new team, he continues to be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, that's big shots from Saints. Is that going to be an attacking round potentially on the board here for Subliners Academy? They need to invest nearly everything into something here. 2 seconds. It's crucial they get a hold of this here. If they can find a 3-1 win, they challenge the fights, but Parasite and Temp ready to answer back, and it's just been playing control that's been an issue for them. And Wester will force a map, or round number 5, I should say. Really, really well played. I mean, it's
I get wrong so often as well, right? You see a 2-2, and your brain goes, Map 5, map 5.
Yep.
We've been saying it for a decade, and now we've got to go round 5. It's round 5. It's
Brycey, it can't be perfect. You know, it's one of those things.
You know, I am very close, but I appreciate that maybe yeah, we do strive.
Is the duo, is that what's weighing your perfectness down?
I mean, no, they literally anchor me with you. That's exactly what it is. It's just
fair,
like
yeah.
they make sure. But let's get back into the game before we go on too much of a tangent, because otherwise we'll just end up bickering on the cast. But as you can see here now, a push coming in for it, but Zap will shut that one down. It's going to be Spark flying in one more time, and he's going to stay alive, even though they got pushed at them as well. And here we go, Parasite looking to try and figure out where these players are now, and he's going to get that nade hit marker onto Spark, but he's going to be taken down by Saints. Saints trying to play that tricky position, ends up getting picked off as well. Hydra pushing forward, and this is good for Subliners at the moment. Every single kill they make here delays that push of West Art by another few seconds. And there really aren't that many seconds left. Only 49 left to go here. And West Art are starting to get a bit desperate.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the situation we're in here, Spark pushing up, finding kills. It's looking great for Subliners Academy with a 6 life advantage at the moment, and Hydra with an SMG is always a scary option. 3 kills going to come on through, but on the defensive side of things, we've seen holds come through every single time. That's why we're here now at round number 5. There hasn't been a single point captured. Not one single point. Subliners Academy are the ones with the defensive side of things. You would really put them as the favorites here, but some progress over towards A is going to be just nullified completely by Saints, who finds 2. 20 seconds for Wester to save their control game. It's not going to happen. Sublanders Academy all over this at the moment. Hydra 27 and 17. Sates 25 and 18. There's maybe one more opportunity for Wester to do something here, but it isn't clear cut.
And they are going to try and do this with 2.2 seconds left to go, but it has to be Hamza who goes huge. Are they going to give this up? Surely not. Surely they're going to be looking at maybe one more swinging, but do they risk the lives? That's the real question. That ticky is about to come in. We thought this was over.
Oh
Wester are going to get this lock in. It's not a game over. It's not a game over. They're going to go for the kills. But they do jump in. They do jump in the absolute last possible second they could end this game. They went, all right, then, we'll have a punt. We'll fly in here. We'll try and make sure that this one ends up working out and end it right there and then. Subliners will take momentum before you can go up 2-1 in this series, Ton.
I kind of like it because if you're Wester in that situation, you see, right, okay, well, there's no engagements come through for the final few seconds. All right, they must be given to us, and all of a sudden there's 4 players flying at you. It's like, oh no, you've been completely caught off guard. And that's an unfortunate one. I think, if you're Wester, you look at that and you're a little bit disappointed because it's defensive rounds all the way through, and it's going to be Subliners Academy who ultimately gain that defensive round, and it's automatically advantage to them. So they will take this one as we go through the replays, and just ultimately solid defensive. I mean, we genuinely didn't see one capture, not one, at any point. Never mind 2. We didn't see a single capture across 5 rounds of control, which says, well, maybe a lot about Checkmate, or maybe a lot about their defensive side of things on both these two teams.
A little bit more unusual, but it is definitely a defense map.
Oh yeah, 100% is, but a very, very strong defense map for these two teams specifically.
I think it's just one of those ones. Once you get onto the back foot on this map, it's so hard to recover.
It is.
Especially in the offense. It's so hard to recover to get back because that time just keeps going away. And it goes faster than you think it does. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, there's only 30 seconds left. If we fail this next push, I'm just not getting there once again. And that obviously never helps onto this one. But I'll tell you something. Saints was frying again. I swear every time I end up watching Saints, just doing fantastic work here in Challengers Elite. And I look forward to seeing it every single time. But the best thing about this now is Subliners are up 2-1 against Wester. And this could mean they get the revenge for the game earlier on. And I'll tell you something else. I'm looking forward to seeing Twitter. I am bringing that up, and I am keeping it locked on for when this game ends, because whichever way, it's going to be fun.
I mean, look, we've had the conversation all night long, but it can come down to whoever's playing better in this series. I mean, if you're NYSL in this situation, the map pool actually doesn't change whatsoever outside of map number 1. But then even then, it's just a change around to a certain degree. We play Checkmate first instead of Garrison, but Garrison is there instead of Raid in map number 4. So we've got 4 of the 5 same maps, but they're 2-1 in the lead. It's kind of one of those things that it's all about adapting. Honestly, I thought Wester played a fantastic Search and Destroy, but it could have went either way. This could have plausibly been a 3-0 for Subliners Academy. It's one of those things. These two teams are evenly matched, but the games are so close. We're nearly ready to load into game number 4, I should say, here with Garrison once again. Last time around, though, as I just mentioned, it was a Wester win with the 250-182 scoreline. So, hey, just give us map 5 at this point. You might as well.
Oh, yeah, it's certainly a close one as well. And, yeah, another call there for a map 5 going through it. But, well, we can see how it happens on Garrison. I feel like I haven't seen a Garrison Hardpoint in a while. I don't know whether that's just we've seen so many raid hardpoints or Moscow that seem to be the flavor of the month, I would say, for this going through. And we'll see. I like playing a good Garrison Hardpoint. I feel the map works really well on there as well. And ending it on a Search and Destroy Miami. I don't know. Here's the thing, when you come into a series like this where obviously we've had a result and it's the opposite way to watch the series now lays, and the games have been very close. How do you put an accurate prediction down for this, right? Like, if you're going to be honest with yourself, you would say, in the case of this game, Wester have played Garrison Hardpoint against Subliners before. They beat him on it just a few hours ago. Is this going to be the same story, even though it's a different scenario, because Subliners are now 2-1 up in this, and it's an elimination game?
It's a super different scenario, I suppose, isn't it? Because, I mean, you've got very recent memories of how things have worked. If you are Subliners Academy in this one, you can sort of say, right, okay, well, what did they do great on Garrison Hardpoint? What did they do to counter what we were doing? And then you can evaluate that and sort of say, right, okay, well, we could change this up. If you're on the winning front, if you're Wester, you don't change anything really, do you? You sort of say, right, okay, well, it worked this time. We can now go into this and just do the exact same thing as what we did last time, albeit, you know, it's all situational to a certain point, of course. But if you Subliners Academy, you look back at that one and you see how it went wrong. They've clearly done that across this series so far. The game has definitely been in a different direction. And as mentioned, that Search and Destroy could have went either way if it hadn't been for some very solid Wester play. But I don't know. It feels like the momentum is kind of with the Subliners Academy here after that win on Control. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them take it, but based on how these two teams have went up against each other, nothing would surprise me at this point, honestly, Bryce. It's just been one of those series that they are one of those games where every single time it's been an entertaining one, and we're nearly ready to go into this one. I'm super excited to see who comes out on map 4. And I just hope we get
I'm
number
already
5.
looking forward to Twitter. I'm
looking forward to map number 5. It's already happening. I'm telling you, it's going map 5.
I just want to see what happens. You are right, because obviously, you know, and that's what we're talking about, right? One of these teams is out of Challengers League. The other team through the playoffs. Big difference between those two. Guaranteed next season. Drop down. You could be facing a team change. You don't know what's going to happen with it. It's less money. There's an awful lot to go through here with these two teams. So it's stress right now. Wester not only have that stress, but they have the stress of the fact that there was a little bit of talk on social before, and I'm sure they'll be thinking about the talk coming on social after this one.
And I think the thing is, as well, you look at these rosters, and you sort of say to yourself, like, you know, a couple of these players could potentially not be in Challengers Elite next season. They're not even going to be in the playoffs, which is crazy to me. You see some of the as mentioned, something we mentioned all the way through this evening, the caliber of players in the NA Challenger side of things this year is crazy. The top end, look, we've had this argument on Twitter so many times, and, you know, we have very much been on the EU side of things, of course, but to a point, you know, we understand that the top level of player in NA, the range, the amount of it is spectacular. There's so many good players. I think our argument has always been that the European top end is just as good, maybe not as many, but that's a conversation for another day and a lot more time. But at the same time, into this, we know how strong the NA side of things is looking right now. Let's see who's going to come on top of this one with two very, very strong teams going up against each other. You got talent across the board. Which way is this one going to go? Subliners going to close it out in 4, or is Wester going to be able to bring this one back and force a game number 5?
Well, only one way to find out is both these two teams going to war straight away. Saints already gone through Fen, but Zap has just shut that down completely. Great start here for Wester as they try to make their campaign to take this to a map 5.
Yep, that's the start you need. Get the rotation over towards P2 locked in. Get some good, healthy points on the board, and you only allow Subliners kind of be 1 kill between them. Spartan's going to be able to find one of his own as well, but this is the slowest start possible if you're a Subliners Academy fan. Not ideal. Not in a good spot, not spawning anywhere well. No points on the board, minus the one little tiny amount that you have here. This is not a good start for the Academy whatsoever. There's a little bit more like it, but Temp shuts it down. But crucially, Hydra does escape through, and maybe something could be done by him and through bricks. But not a good start for Subliners Academy.
It certainly isn't, but now Saints going to try and make a big fight there. That is huge for them as well. Try and hold this one. Saints gets a second. That is ridiculous, and now Spark flies out, but Saints gets a third. It's all Saints all the time. Somehow has managed to get into P2 and hold it against the team that has a raid against him. Saints continuing to do work here, allowing the reinforcements to come in. They are going to be holding it hard side, though. But every single point is valuable, and Saints has worked his socks off for them. Now going to try and challenge one more time. That's Saints on a 4. Saints again looking into Art. He knows players have gone through as well. Eventually will be taken down, and now it will eventually be Wester who get through, but only with scrap time. Rotation to Subliners.
Yeah, Subliners will probably take that one. About a 20-point haul off a rotation you didn't have, and you, well, get the lock in the rotations over towards P3. Every cloud and all that. Zap going to make this push. Saints ready and waiting. I absolutely agree. He's been tearing it up in the Challengers so far this year. He's been a player who's had up and down moments, of course, in Challenger, in Pro Play, I should say. But in Challenger so far, he has looked like a force. So far, so good at 5-5, but so far, so good for West Down. The break on through here, it's been far too easy. Prolute's going to get gunned by Tempu. Can't quite find the second. Saints will be able to trade that one out. Shots into Hydra from Parasite. The 7-4U. Nerfed, apparently. Fantastic stuff from Parasite as Wester push on through. They break it very easily. Garrison looking good for them so far.
It is, and you see now Saints trying to make some more work going through. Been crucial in the series so far. Going to find one, not able to find the second. That's a shutdown. And here comes the rotation. Prolute going to be trying to sit here, jump up, watch every single angle he can. There's one bottom floating. You get Parasite as well. This is a little bit difficult to hold if you don't manage to push them back into their spawn. You can already see Wester trying to break out through vents.
Trying to. This is going to be on this rotation once again. 2 in a row that they've had time to set up for. This one, albeit, is a little bit more difficult. Really get some solid time on, but I tell you what, Zap. He's just gunned Hydra off that heady there. Saints now up top green. This is a good spot to try and break on through, but you can see this setup from Wester. They're controlling the catwalk side, making things so difficult to push from any of the angles that are typically good to try and retake this with. Spartan Saints will find the kills in the middle of the map, though, so they can start to make the push. They are going to find the break, and Saints finding more kills here. Prolute with another of his own. That's 20 points available for Subliners Academy here. Rotation belongs to them over towards P5 as well. Wester going to have to break through the front door, but the important thing for Wester is that one at the top middle of your screen. 60-point difference. Subliner Academy, though, seem to be warming up into this game now. Just about, at least, anyway. Saints with 5 in a row.
Saints pretty much doing everything he can here on this map. It's just not going well for them. Hydra also struggling a little bit to really be the Hydra we were talking about just before this game, Ton. You know, we were hyping up a good amount, saying there's a lot of people keeping an eye on this man, and when the chips are down, which they are now, we expect to see an explosive play or two out of him. But right now, it's going to be all Wester trying to put on a bit of a show and keep this lead firmly in their pocket, as we are obviously on the rotation level P5. There's a lot of fights going on around green.
Yeah, Temp's done really well. Finds 2 kills in and around green and towards bricks, and really does shut down the Academy's push through this side. It's always a nice spot to have if you do want to try and do something towards P5. Prolute trying to duke out Parasite with the box jump that I've seen 5 trillion times this year already. It's every time. They can't help themselves. They want to jump over every single time. The kills are going to come through, but it's too little too late as we head into the second rotation. It is around a 50-point lead for Wester. Really, really nice spot to be in, but can Subliners Academy do what Wester did last time, which was a good P1 and P2? That's where they found their lead.
Checking there's nobody spawning behind him and getting ready for it as well. Nobody there at the moment, but however, it looks like Wester are getting their toes straight into this hardpoint. It's going to be Parasite to come through then. They're going to be looking for him as well, but he shuts down Prolute. He's trying to get another one as well. He just guns Saint with a little help from his teammates as well. And now Parasite going for a bit of a roam, looking for the vent player who should be on the respawn. And he's throwing his shoulder very, very aggressively, finding Prolute. Prolute will shut him down though. And now, with 28 seconds left to go, it will be Subliners in control of this hill, but that rotation has already come in.
Tem needs to stay alive here, and well, of course he does so. My god, he's frying. 19 and 14 out of Temp. And can still keep me motivated to shout about Call of Duty at 10 to 4 in the morning. My goodness me, he's having a good game. Hydra at the back, though. This is where we need to see big things out of him with this Krig, but I mean, he doesn't even do anything. Prolute finds 2. Hydra up to there for the second as well. That's a bit more like it from him. That's
Hydra,
a 6th streak.
It's not an SMG.
It's a Krig as well. It's not like we're in the XM4 meta anymore. This is more. This is what I want to see in his hands, though.
Yeah. You can tell he's so much more comfortable with that SMG, the way he's flying around with that Krig. And bearing in mind, he's playing for Krig. That's the huge part for it. He's going to see Parasite. Parasite, I don't know if he knows how crucial that kill was on a mixed map. Streaks are pretty effective.
Artillery.
But will be shut down. Parasite managed to get this hill back for them, but they don't have the rotation now.
Nope, they don't. But it was an artillery coming in for Hydra. Just confirm there. Thank you, Observer. Shout out to the Observers, by the way. It's been fantastic this evening. You guys are great. Big part of the team here, of course, but let's move into this now. Can this rotation be good from Western once again? They broke through so easily last time, but can Hydra continue his good second half of the map at least anyway? Krig in hand, keeping an eye on Warehouse, nothing pushing through there. It's the front door that Wester are trying to knock down.
Certainly is. I'll tell you something, as an AR, you never feel more useless than when you're watching the over and nobody ends up overextending to push it. You're still going, I know I should be watching this, but there's action going on other places on the map. And Prolute's going for a bit of a push. Ends up getting that kill down as well. Looking for Zap. Zap's going to fly down as well. Now where's Temp? Temp tries to get down. He manages to get off the head because Prolute was not missing, and he still isn't getting the kills. Now players throwing through twos. There goes Zap. Prolute continuing to be an absolute monster. Eventually gets shut down. But look how close this game now is. We are going to see a lead change. Someone for the first time in what feels like forever will take the lead as we now head in to P4.
You head in towards P4. Subliners Academy will take that lead. Prolute has not slowed down. 25 and 16 out of the man. He's a really big reason as to why we're seeing Subliners Academy, who are 70 or so down, now find themselves in a, well, ever so slight lead, but it's a lead nonetheless. Western now trying to punch through green side. They will find the kill with Temp to try and kick things off here. Zap will fall down though. It's one of those that it's in a precarious situation right now. Subliners Academy are within touching distance of getting control, but 3 men from Western inside the hill. That's now going to disappear. Saints finds 2 on the outside. Hydra with a kill with the Krig, and look how up close and personal he is as 4 men go down. Fantastic work by the Subliners Academy. They're going to start extending this push out towards P5 here as well.
And now you can see Hydra trying to play this one. He sees Temp as well. He knows players are going to start pushing him. He's continuing to try and fight. Ends up challenging there with the pistol. Doesn't go to plan though. It ends up going down. Subliners again back into the lead, but not with the rotation. This could end anyway, and I really don't know who's going to have the ice to win it out.
You can see the SMG in Hydra. He's flying at things. Needs to be it's raining and maybe a little bit. Parasite now trying to lock this one in. What can Hydra do from here? Well, he's got his artillery.
Did he just cancel it? Or did he just throw it somewhere random? I don't know exactly where he ended up putting it. Yeah. I think he was just using it as a distraction to push him out. I don't think that was really that carefully placed.
No, it wasn't. It was just sort of thrown in, and oh my goodness, that's going to be the easiest 2-piece Temp's going to have all day. That's completely nullified whatever was put in by Hydra there. It wasn't necessarily the best one I've ever seen, but Prolute on a 4 spree, 30 and 7. Oh. How was he won that gunfight? What on earth?
This, Ton, is where it starts to get a little bit tense here. Subliners are going to bring this to only a 6-point. Not even that. They didn't even bother to get the last 2 ticks. It's going to be. It could end here. It shouldn't end on P1, but it very much could. Prolute now flying out to the green. He's going to be very, very weak, trying to get this one down. You can see him just backing off a little bit to try to make sure that he stays alive in this very important rotation. Ends up taking down Zap. Parasite and Saints, though, trading apart across the map. Realistically, though, Subliners Academy are going to be the team that has to make the work going down. Wester can actually win this here. We just don't expect them to.
Look at the movement from Prolute. What am I seeing? So fast around the map. 6 kills. He found the 7th before falling down. 33 and 18 out of Prolute so far. But Wester are the ones with the important numbers. 232, 199, and that's going to keep climbing as Subliners Academy need to find themselves in there. They have them now. Wester can't win it here, and the rotation over towards P2 kind of belongs to Subliners Academy, and once again, an artillery strike available for the Subliners Academy. Can they do better with this one, though? Wester are only going to be 8 points away as we head over towards P2.
Well, Prolute dropping that artillery all the way through P5. Is it going to be enough, though? Parasite coming through the back. Hydra and Prolute get 2 as well. Zap is going to be here. He's going to find Hydra, but he's waiting. Look at that patience, trying to make sure his teammates can get into position for him as well. But they now need to think about the break here. The Subliners are in control. It's Saints in top green. Here comes Parasite. Parasite goes down. Green is now clear. All the kills going in favor of Subliners. That's a full wipe, and they are spawning in Narnia. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe can't help them now. I don't know if they have enough time to get to this hill, even if they go through top green, Ton. I think that may be all she wrote.
That might be it. Hydra finds 2. Zap and Temp do find 2 as well, though. They've got to run. They've got to go quickly. They're not going to get in. Subliners Academy take the series 3-1. What a comeback on Garrison Hardpoint.
Unreal there. Subliners, they were trading for so long of it, and even when they managed to get their lead back, they ended up losing it on rotations or scrap time or just a little bit through and through. But I said, who has got the ice? That is important. We knew that realistically it wasn't going to end on P1. It ended on P2, and the Subliners just cleaned house. They managed to get every single kill they needed. They managed to lock it down, and, well, they walk away with the revenge game. Ellen, welcome back. That was ridiculous.
That was insane. 8 points away. 8 points away, Wester. That was so close, but beautiful plays there by Subliners Academy, holding that and that rotation over there to that P2 hill and getting those initial kills. It was just beautiful holds from them, and they just well deserved. Moving on to tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure. Do we know who they will play tomorrow? Exactly.
I believe production are fixing that as we speak.
Oh, okay, we're fixing that as we speak. But regardless, I was gonna say tomorrow. Do we know? I thought we knew. I'm sorry about that. But regardless, they deserve to move on. So good stuff from them. They adopted and they had the revenge. Essentially, they had the revenge. So overall, it was tough. That was tough.
That's the key thing, right? Like, that was a revenge match. We knew they were been kind of going back and forth on Twitter a little bit earlier, Ton, right? And I'm now waiting. I have my Twitter on to see exactly what they say.
Go on.
It is very much congratulations to Subliners on that one. They do go through into our playoffs, which we'll be seeing tomorrow evening. Unfortunately, Westar will be dropping out not only of knockout but out of Challengers Elite. They can try again, but here's the thing, right, Ton? I thought they looked really, really good. They looked amazing. Can only imagine how good the games are going to be tomorrow as well, with everything going through, because that team, certainly a few more decisions could very easily be in.
Yeah, look, their S&D looked amazing for me as well. The control comes down to whoever gets that defensive round in round number 5. The hard point obviously very, very close. This conceivably could have, I mean, Subliners could have won it 3-0. I mean, Wester could have won it 3-1. It was so back and forth between these two, high level across the board, and it's just crazy to see at the top end. You've got players like Temp and Parasite dropping out at this stage with no guaranteed spot in the League Challengers, and that's not a slight on them. That just proves that the competition at the very top level in America is so solid.
Yeah, it 100% is. And let's take a little look at the bracket that got us all the way here. Of course, well, you can see Easter and Built by Gamers. Those are the two big ones we're going to be talking about as they go into our playoff bracket. And then Fantastic Four versus Subliners Academy is our other game. Of course, the winner of those will go into our grand final. All that will be determined tomorrow. But Ellen, you wanted to find out. Here are the games.
Yeah, definitely. There's the games. I was just curious if they were going to play Easter, because I am so excited to see my boy John back into the game. Definitely want to make a name for himself here. So, you know, get, like you said, Call of Duty Challengers Elite. It's just so important to make a name for yourself. And I'm just really excited to see him back playing. And I'm really excited to see Easter play, and just all these teams are overall is just like the competition. It's just so fierce here in the NA side of things. So overall,
well, I know you were looking forward to the bracket, Ellen, but I can confirm that was in fact the wrong bracket. Here is the correct bracket. So I can only apologise to everyone at home. We like our bracket so much, we gave you a fake bracket just to build up the hype for the real bracket. So our games will be Easter versus Subliners Academy and Fantastic Four versus Built by Gamers. Here's the real bracket, Ellen. What do you think of the real bracket?
And that's that's what I was going to say. Easter versus Subliners Academy. That's the game that I wanted to see, but I didn't want to assume that until I knew the bracket. But I was right. So regardless, I'm really excited for that match tomorrow. I know these games are just going to be so good, and you know, with BBG, who's improved a lot, you got Fantastic Four, who had a little bit of a crazy roster changes, but overall they have Draza and Decimate, I believe, on that team now. So I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about these matches. You just know, it's just so unpredictable. That's the exciting part for me. It's unpredictable. You don't know. You just don't know. Some games, like, you know, you look at Call of Duty maybe 10 years ago and you think, all right, Complexity, they're the best team. They're going to win everything. But now it's just like you don't know who's going to win. All these games, it's just tale of two teams.
It certainly is. And of course, the best thing about this is we get to watch it all live. There is, of course, going to be a lot more games. It's the end for our broadcast tonight, but not the end of Stage 2 of the Challengers Elite. There is so much more to come. There are still 4 teams in both regions, and we will be catching up with them tomorrow. The European region, of course, starting in fantastic form as well. And then the North American region, we have 2 champions to crown. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Good night.